Yeah, I feel like I'm me now, you know, like I'm in my space, I'm in my zone, and I think anybody around me would really agree. Yeah, saying things without a conscience in my head myself. Way into a blind person, finally seeing itself. Wearing my hollow on my sleeve because that new fashion sell. And I don't want that jacket if I got a ride a coattail, man, you can have that. I think they want me back on my gritty. One day she hate me, they miss me. Can't fuck with girls from back home cause it's HIV in the city. Niggas don't talk like confetti. No matter how much you lie to me, I know your ass ain't ready. Niggas acting like women. Niggas just wanna be matched. Spend your allowance money, hoping for some validation. Family don't understand you cause you just too complicated. Your mother way too crazy, and when your talk is no patience, and you don't open up, and so they make accusations. Your pops died early, and man, you still trying to shake it. And yeah, I made mistakes, so my little brothers will make up. My granny do her best, so I try to show appreciation. And when she had cancer, it cut me deep, so deep I would lie awake, toss and turn, no sleep, ain't have an appetite. So had the time I wouldn't eat, then she poured through. I exhaled, they hit my knees, man, I couldn't breathe. Hold my throat, I couldn't breathe. If I ever lost her, it ain't no telling where I be. Becoming a perfect human, better let it in soon. A couple more sins to commit before I really commit. It's either small or too big, man. What do I really fit? Size me up, do it twice so we can really be sure. Apologize in advance, I just needed something to vent on. Backpackers that been on, putting my fucking foot on the gas. I match that bitch until I crash. Throw me a fucking doubter, I make him to a believer. 100 miles an hour, eyes closed, trying to see my future. Man, I really do this shit. I don't do this shit for kicks, but if we talking about the souls, man, they all sold them. Keeping greatness in the box, man, I'm claustrophobic. Don't mind me putting it in a pretzel like she doing aerobics. I told them, I be that nigga that you gotta get a verse from. They have fun and have fast. I wanna put away funds. You in your mom's class, every chance y'all get is you accept your step brothers on some bro to bro shit. Only to find out they apply to you quick. Man, I'm just saying, I'm just doing me. I'm just trying to make it. You niggas don't inspire me. I should be your fucking inspiration.
What's good? What's happening? A well-organized lie defeats a disorganized truth every time. Woohoo-wee, man. Y'all already know what it is, man. It's God Killing the House. Welcome to the Afternoon Show, man. If y'all seen the show previous to this, man, it was a great conversation, man, that we're here. I got my finger on a button just in case somebody is crazy. I got it right there. Man, good. What's good, family, man? Welcome to the after show, man, where the discussions continue. Don't come up here with a whole lot of cussing and fussing and all that. Let's get the conversation. If you was chatting in the patio over there, man, go ahead and hit the link, man. Man, I see everybody just joining the chat, man. 25,000 in the building, man. Let's get in here. I see you. New Black World Order was good. Danny Wilson, what's up with you, man? Where y'all at? We here. See you, Gullah. Nazir Lee, where the hell you been at? What's good with you, brother? What it do? Let's get it cracking. What's on your mind, bro?
What's up with it?
What it do? What's up, Gullah?
Chilling, man. Man, we made them boys run off the block.
yeah.
They stumping their feet, you know what I'm saying?
We just getting started. We're going live Sunday too. We crack them Sunday shows back up again. But let me get right. Nazi Lee, what's up?
What's good with you, bro? I'm thinking about hopping on my computer because I
Okay.
wanted to show my screen. I don't think I can show it on my
On your phone?
I don't think I can show it on my cell phone. So I'm thinking about just jumping back on my computer.
All right, we ready for you.
That's what I'm gonna do. I'll be right back.
All right, brother.
All right.
All right. So yeah, Gala, we had him running and jumping and jumping and running and jumping. We know we did. We sure did.
And based on his argument, I think he going off that old Diop premises where they think the back migration started in the midst of when Egypt was already established, and the back migration started before Egypt was even Egypt. Like that shit. Like, the Heliocene back migrations and the Neolithic, that stuff been going on. Like
I think they think people just started being human when Egypt came or something crazy like that. So I don't know, man. I know. Black Pearl, what's up? Talk to us. Can't hear you. Unmute yourself. Well, can't hear you. Can't hear you, can't hear you, can't hear you. Yep. Sometimes people come going in and out of the stage. It is what it is, man. So yeah, we had a great conversation over there. And it's after shows for y'all to express your opinions, man. I see y'all in the chat. I see a lot of people's in the chat had a lot of damn opinions, man. All right. So where you at? Where's the conversation?
Yeah, what they at? Let's build. Let's build
Where
on
they at? We trying to build. Sound like your hounds build this building out there. I see that. I see him. I hear him over there, Gullah. Goodness gracious, boy. Get them hounds, man. Them hounds. Take him out. He want to run. He want to do something. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, we ain't got time for trolling, man. We don't, man. We actually don't, man. We don't. I see you, brother from the UK. What it do, man? Lamar Pope, I see you. Guy, Brack, what's up, guy? What's up with you, bro? All right. So yeah, Gullah. Yeah, you know we got that show scheduled for Sunday, man. And it's gonna be a good show. We're gonna be talking about the Green Sahara, with all the notes that we need to have. Yeah, we doing that.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be exciting. I got some work. Got some work for them.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna do it. So I don't know. I mean, we got maps. Like, I don't know why people don't even adhere to maps, man. It's the craziest thing ever. Got some sources, right? You know, I don't know why people always get into that wild conversation about Darwin and all that. It becomes ridiculous. But wanted to show a map real quick. Hold on. Get into it, man. Shoot. And we show this shit 100 times, man. They still fail. Still fall down. I'm gonna do it. The craziest thing ever, Gullah. Let me see. Let me just get these guys right here, man. Let me get these two guys right here. All right. Cooper and Copeland. I always say his name wrong. I don't know why I say
Is it
Huh?
Julian Cooper? Is it Julian Cooper?
Julian? No. No.
I know another Cooper, another Julian Cooper. He do the toponymic research on Nubia.
Guy from Germany. I'm talking about the guy. I'm talking Stefan Cooper, man.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Stefan Cooper. Yo, he got a lot of good work. Let me see. A lot of good work. A lot of good pictures. So is one in particular I want to show here. Let me see. Index. Hold on, let me get here because there's a lot of good. Get you some of his research real quick. And you know, if you're not talking about him, then you ain't talking. You're not really having a great conversation when you talking about to this Sahara, okay? Because he definitely do his thing right. Let me see. Let me see if I can find some of his publications real quick. Let me see. Hold on, I want to get you the one. They got a great map. Man, goodness gracious. Great map. Wadi How? Let me see. Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah, you can. You definitely can respect this, Gullah. You'll definitely respect that. I'm trying to get some of his research. Hold on, real quick, before we get into the topic. Yeah, Stephen Cooper. You have Civilization, the Mysterious Desert Cradle. Put this in there for y'all to watch. All right. Off the chain. I see you, Pan African James. Seem to be the only one with some damn heart today. It's okay. All right. Okay, I put that in there. That's for y'all. All right. What's going on, Pan African James? What's up with you?
Oh, I was just typing and speaking to Miss Tiffany in the chat over here.
Okay.
What's happening with you, Unc?
Man, keep me super silent, man.
Welcome home, brother.
Yeah, you probably so you doing the same thing Chris did.
You
I'm doing the same thing Chris did.
No, I'm just saying, man.
That's crazy, man.
It's been a long time since I seen this brother here. So I'm just happy to see you, bro.
That is so crazy how y'all interpret shit.
He said it's crazy, so we just crazy, huh?
Yeah, I'm like, y'all been saying the same thing. I haven't changed it, yo.
I haven't.
It's just
so hold on. Let's just be clear. So you telling me, mean to tell me that you've been saying the whole time that these people was black Africans?
I ain't said they was black yet, yo. I said they Africans. They don't got to be black Africans.
No, yeah. I put that in on purpose.
Yeah.
You know I did that, right? I'm putting because I don't understand if you understand linguistic evolution.
What? Linguistic evolution? Yeah. When words change, yeah.
So now that they found those particular words offensive, they just changed the dialogue, but you still have to have some type of nomenclature to identify who it is you're talking about.
Okay.
So they just switched it to indigenous African.
Oh.
But it's still Negro. That's still the population that they're referring to when they talk about Negro. It's the same thing.
It's because the it don't got nothing to do with that, man. It's just the fashion.
Yes, it does. The Negro in the chronology, it became offensive.
It's more than one. It was more than one type of African in the era in the first place.
Right.
It was more.
And if you put the Africans that the Egyptians linguistic ties go to, that nucleus, no matter what their skin color was, if you took their skulls, you would be confused. You wouldn't be what they say would be a Negro skull back then.
Well, we know that they used limb proportions and stuff like that.
It would have been mixed up.
They use a plethora. They use the archaeology, the pottery. We already know. We've been around this ring around the rosy for a while now, so we know all of the things that it took for them to come up with a proper analysis of who these people are. So Unc was reading something from the Diop symposium that he said Reggie sent him or whatever, and in one of the sentences it said as clear as day that these people weren't light-skinned people from outside of Africa in the analysis. So I mean, when they
wasn't outside light-skinned people,
they said they wasn't light-skinned.
No, I said it wasn't. No, said it wasn't
outside light-skinned. I got that. Don't do that, man, because you read it live.
Right, yo, it says no outside. I'm telling you.
Okay, well, if I'm
meaning,
you can actually pull that thing because it was on your computer. You can pull that same quote up and read it again, man. But you don't even. I'm saying you don't gotta do that because I heard it the first time what it said. I wasn't
sure, bro.
And I hope y'all wasn't confused on what it was saying. I hope y'all not gonna flip that around and say that said that light-skinned people from outside of Africa was the nucleus of what built Egypt. Because that ain't what that sentence said, that you read. It didn't say that. It said the exact opposite of what I guess that's not what I hope that's not what you're saying.
No, I'm saying that the light-skinned people in Africa, there was no outside people that came in, light-skinned people that came in and made Egypt, or white people that came in. They weren't out. They was from in Africa. That's what they're saying, yo.
No, that's not what they're saying.
It was, man. You gonna put some money on, put a donation on.
Nucleus,
what you
the nucleus of their culture is from Africa.
You want to do that?
See y'all do that though.
I'm saying, do you want to argue?
Even the language.
Hold on. What's crazy is Gullah turned around and backed you up. That was wild. that Gullah came in and backed you up on that. And man, pull the quote up, man. I just want to see y'all read this and tell me that this
You don't
is
even
not
understand
saying,
you don't even understand the complexity of what I be saying.
come on, Gullah, stop it.
You
Please.
really don't.
Yeah, I'm sure I don't. But I mean, we talking about this quote right now. And we trying to get on the figure out what if Ankh is saying that indigenous people from Africa, this light-skinnedness that you're referring to that just so happened to happen in the middle of the hottest desert on the planet, one of them. I don't think that you can get light.
It wasn't always no desert. It wasn't always no desert though.
Yeah, but we know that the people that were there before then were African as well, and the people that migrated.
There was no desert people. There was no desert people.
But listen, you talking about when it was green.
Y'all, two people talking don't make no sense for this show. We need to hear
when
what
it was
y'all
green,
saying.
we understand that those same people was in the northern part of Africa. Then they migrated when the flora and fauna deteriorates and goes south. So that's where the flora and fauna, meaning the animals and the people and the vegetation, it all went south. We know this.
What flora and fauna? According
like
to
all of the
Aaron,
animals, like when you see on the rock art, you see the giraffe, you see all of the things that you see in southern Africa. I mean,
you don't just see giraffes though. You see cows. You see.
No, in the rock art in the Sahara, they have giraffes up there.
I know that. But
but so I'm just saying that's what I mean by flora and fauna. I'm talking about the animal life, the plant life, all of that migrates south as the desert. Okay, go ahead.
You have extinct species of giraffes that was in North Africa that went extinct too. It wasn't just that they was just from the south. That extinct species of the certain animals too that was living in the Sahara that didn't just migrate down. Some of them just went extinct. You just looking at the ones that's left. You know what I'm saying from that branch of animal family.
Yeah, get it together.
So you saying that the giraffe that they drew in the Sahara are not related genetically to the giraffes we see today?
Yeah, they're related, but it's a different species. They're different species of giraffes.
Different species of
elephants too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, different species of elephants too. It was just like the Barbary elephant. The Barbary elephant went extinct.
But it's an elephant, right? It's in the elephant family.
Yeah,
that's cool. You got certain things that go extinct. I'm familiar with that. But what I'm talking about, I was just talking about what they recognize as flora and fauna that they drew in the rock art in the Sahara is identity. You can identify. I don't know what genetics got to do with why you interjected that particular giraffe went extinct.
Listen. In the Green Sahara, it was more than one climate. You had Mediterranean flora and fauna climate, and you had tropical climate when you get into the southern steeps. You had more than one climate in the Green Sahara. It wasn't just one climate. It wasn't like Game of Thrones where you had land is always winter.
But hold on, what it does not matter, this particular type of differences you're making.
It do matter.
No.
It really does matter. It's a desert. These people can't. We had Mediterranean regions in the Green Sahara too.
Only thing that matters is that
if
it was habitable for life. That was what mattered. So what type? It was the flatlands, or if it was some type of whatever type of grass, and if it was some extinct grass, it was grass that they could eat at the time. So that none of this matters. It was habitable land at the time when they was up there. That's what we're talking about.
Who did they?
The people who migrated south once the Sahara started to desiccate. That's those people. It genetically moved south. You can see it in the genetics today.
Move south.
People didn't just go south. Some people went south. Some people went north. Some people went east.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course.
Well, we could say
we showed the map though, yo.
We could definitely say that some people may have went north, but the people that went north by population are not the majority of population that was up there because of the climate that's in North Africa now. You can look at the population of North Africa today, and you will see that there's very little people that live in North Africa right now. So
let's move on to the source real quick. We got Nazir Ali. What's your source you got?
Libya.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm trying to listen to the.
Look at the population of Libya in 2024, and it's probably even many people that where you live at right now in Atlanta today.
So James, was you gonna bet that statement said what you said it said, or you just gonna shut up on that?
The statement said what?
Said that it was about the light-skinned people. What did it say? What you say it said?
What I said was.
It said what?
Now, and then you pulling up some, but
I didn't pull up anything yet. That's not
okay. Well, what
ahead.
I said was at the time that you're talking about is which I'm thinking you're talking about maybe 12,000 years ago up until 8,000.
No. I'm talking about the formation of Egypt. That statement was for the formation of Egypt. But go ahead. You said what?
You going all the way to what, 4,500?
Yeah. So you said what?
Okay, that's cool. Now, see, then that's going to be a whole nother conversation. If that's what we're talking about. I thought we were talking about the Green Sahara.
No, you said that I said the statement said that no outside people created Egypt. That's what I said. You said it said something else.
Okay, well, if you're going into 4,500, that's a whole.
Going into with the source, you wanted me to read the source. Remember?
No, I wanted you to read the part, and this is definitely not it.
I know. And the Green. Go ahead.
Yeah. Because it's
what did
not
it say?
What the source that you read
said
that light-skinned people did not have anything to do with the formation of Egypt at 3000 BCE. That's what it said. You read the source. And matter of fact,
you said something different. You said it wrong.
Watch this. This is what I'm gonna do for you. I'm gonna play
outside light skin.
The source. The
source. You don't read it. The same source that you was reading from.
It said no outside light skin.
The source. Since
you don't want to read it
now.
Evidently, I do. You want to do it now? You're saying it wrong, yo. I bought the source, yo.
I'm not gonna say anything. I'm gonna let you read it since you don't want to do it yourself right now. Because this ain't the source that I'm talking about.
I know you.
You done pulled up something with Kiata and all kind of wild.
I didn't pull it up. That's Nazir Ali, a good old friend of mine from all the way back.
My bad, Mozzie. My bad, Nazi. I mean, but I thought that was you. But if you would pull up that source and just read it, that's what your source.
It don't say what you said. Do you want to put money on that?
This is actually supporting.
Hold up. This is what I want to make sure that we're clear on.
Yeah, when you put the money.
Saying that this source, the source that you read when you was talking to Chris, did not say in the one paragraph. I'm not talking about nothing else. The paragraph where they mentioned the light skin, they did that paragraph wasn't talking about that light skin was not involved in the beginning of the civilization.
No, it said no outside. It say no outside light skin, no outsiders, no light skin outsiders created. That's what it said.
Okay, so what does that mean?
That mean that you do got light-skinned people in there, but not the outside light-skinned people. That's what it means.
Man, you hold up. You just tripped all the way out because you
do you want to bet that? I'm asking you a question.
Hold up. You interjected the light-skinned people that was inside. They never mentioned no inside. They said that why would that's crazy. You interjected some light-skinned people inside of the civilization that they didn't even mention. They specifically
didn't even say light-skinned it, nigga. It didn't even say that.
I don't know.
Didn't say light-skinned
about light skin. Pull it up, Unc. I don't know why you were wasting time.
Because I'm sitting here telling you that it didn't say it, and you said it for 30 minutes. So I'm saying put $10 on it. $10 bet.
I'm not because I got to read it for myself. I can't be waiting on you.
Okay,
you
I got it. So you didn't talk to the deaf. And you don't got no heart to bet it. Okay.
Because you ain't pulling up for me to read it. That's
so you gotta bet it first so you see how wild and wrong you was.
Worry about it. I'm gonna pull it up. I'm gonna pull up with it so I'll make sure that
hold on now. Here it go. It's right here. You see the screen. Do you see the screen? It's right here.
Let me look and see because
it's right here
all day.
You see it. Read it. Don't say light skin nothing.
Okay, that's it. It says the ancient Egyptians were an African population of African people who first appeared in the Nile Valley by 4500 BCE. It says, and created a distinct culture, Egyptologists no longer maintain the false hypothesis that light-skinned outsiders, lighter-skinned outsiders created the Egyptian
Correct,
culture.
bro. Correct.
Okay, now, so you
lighter skin.
So who is they talking about?
They talking about the indigenous people. The whole thing was it was an invading race of Caucasian people came in, all that. It was like, nah, man, no lighter skinned people created that. That's what they were saying. So right now, people's skin color range, right? And people are lighter now based off of just having modern technology. You're not running around naked. You know what I'm saying? You're not running around like that. People are clothed with air conditioning and all that. It's different things. Diet has changed. A lot of artificial foods and colorings, all kind of shit, man. So, but that initial population didn't have none of the things we got. They ain't got no sunscreen. Right now, Egyptian can throw the sunscreen on and talk crazy and say, I hate brown skin, dark brown skin. They can say all they want to say, yo, but their ancestors wasn't afforded that opportunity. They just wasn't, yo. And oh, by the way, you can have people in Egypt that look like Europeans, and you saying they're Europeans. And I'm saying, but they're not Europeans. Right. So y'all want the person that's so black that when you turn the lights out, you can't see him. And when he smiles, teeth light up the room. And then you consider it African. Your nose got to be so big, you know what I'm saying, that when you see the nose is spread all over your face, and then you all of a sudden become African. That's what y'all mean when y'all say African. You got to be so black that when you walk down the street, you blend into the street, and then you African. Your hair got to be so coiled tight that when the comb go through it, it break, and then you're African. Yeah. That's your idea, African. And then you started Egypt. The blackest of the blackest of the black. That's what y'all be on the blackity black.
I think you over exaggerating.
I'm not over exaggerating. Yo, trust me.
I think that's what you do.
No.
Because now what you're doing is you over exaggerating and you going into something that's not what we saying.
Oh, what you saying?
It is just like in this thing that you read is telling you is a process until we get to where we see today. That's exactly what
right. Yeah, you ain't black like that.
Yeah, if you ain't that with that hairstyle, you ain't black.
No, you ain't Egyptian.
You gotta be that.
You didn't start that civilization. That's what that's what the UNESCO conference really was about when they was involved in it.
Yeah, and see, that's what
you say. Hold on, you say that's what the conference was about?
No, not so much. That's what the conference was about, but that was Diop's argument.
Yeah, that was all I did. You gotta be so black when you turn off the lights, you disappear until your eyes open.
He was arguing that these people were African people that range in skin color. That's what he was
saying. Say it again.
Until 1955, they believed that the Egyptians were a white culture. So not only did you have the invasion theory, but they also viewed them as black Europeans.
Yep, facts. Craziest thing ever, based off of skull morphology.
Yeah. Which actually in 35 and I think with Sir Isaac Keith, he cleared that up. And actually his work is still valid till this day. Soy Kiata validated his work. I actually put that in the book. I actually used that in the argument against y'all back in the day too, with to show similar affinities, because that's what this conversation boils down to. Affinities when we're talking about skull and ethnicity in a way, but I'm gonna let y'all continue before I come in.
All right. I wonder what you thought you used against. I know you're doing something trickery.
This was back in the day, you know.
Yeah, somebody say we misrepresenting
that's real masterful, for you to flip that around and say that ain't working. And then you just added in some more light-skinned people and said like it was some light-skinned people that was differentiated from these other light-skinned people that they taught.
So wait, yo, you basically saying that you can't have light-skinned people in Egypt, yo?
That's not what
I'm asking you.
That's not what I'm saying.
Are North Africans indigenous to Africa?
No, what I'm saying is in the sentence that we did this in that Diop paper, whatever that is at the museum, They were putting the emphasis on lighter skinned people to differentiate who the Egyptians was. They didn't do that for nothing.
They say lighter skinned people.
Yeah, but
lighter skin, bro.
So this
bro,
crazy
not light skin, but lighter skinned people.
Talking about Eurasians.
Yes. So the people that there now are Eurasians at 80%. So them ain't indigenous people to Africa.
All right,
they said lighter
somebody
skin
said we're
Eurasians,
representing Diop's
Eurasians ain't always necessarily light skin either.
But that doesn't have
Eurasians
anything
ain't
to
always
do.
light skin either.
Well,
no, I'm just saying that's who they're referring to when they say lighter skin. They're referring to Eurasians. They're not referring to like light skin blacks or light skin melanin.
It said light. The word is lighter, not light skinned. That's two different.
Yeah,
lighter skin.
Yeah. And then like it's all about perspective too, because like Emperor Haile Selassie would be light skin compared to Fela Kuti or somebody. You know
who think I'm in that chat? Who think I'm misrepresenting Diop's argument? Because we're gonna read Diop's argument. Put a one in the chat if I'm misrepresenting Diop's argument. And the question: let's say no sub-Saharan Africans, right, made Egypt, yo. Would that disqualify the Egyptians from being indigenous Africans?
Hold on. The only indigenous Africans are sub-Saharan Africans.
Oh, that's crazy.
And yeah, they are. I'm talking about
no, that ain't true, bro.
Crazy, yo. What? Why would you say that? Why would you say that?
If you're talking about anybody, hold on, because what
the Rift Rally not even.
Hold on. If you go look up the genetic makeup of North Africans today, the percentage of them is 80% Eurasian. That means European. So if they're 80% European, they cannot be indigenous to North Africa. Am I wrong?
What?
You gotta be specific to which groups you're talking about.
I'm talking. Okay. Watch this, brother Lee. Watch this. The Maghreb, the people in North Africa, on percentage, the percentage of their DNA is 80% non-African. Right now, I'm not making this up. We can look this up right now. And that's what I'm saying. So we gotta figure out what is an indigenous African first. That's the first thing we're gonna have to do, because I don't think that Eurasians are indigenous African, and I don't. And if you are a certain percentage non-African, that means that you're not African. That's how they do it in genetic tests. When I took my genetic test, they broke that shit down. Excuse me. They broke that down and told me what percentage I was African and what percentage I wasn't African. Based on my percentage of African that I had, I gotta say I'm African. And if I pop on this screen, y'all ain't gonna y'all not gonna deny it.
Wow.
So what I'm saying, now if I was 80%, if I was 91% Eurasian and I popped on the screen, I would not look like this. Do y'all understand that?
Nope.
That's crazy.
Nope. I don't know what the hell you talking about right now. Who googly gosh, some chalk black algae right now.
I think it varies, and that's why I brought up that article, because it talks about the Badarians, how they were basically hybridized, but they were every bit as African as you can get from a scientific perspective in terms of their skulls, in terms of their affinity with the rest of the region. But they would be considered hybridized because it breaks down the other groups that were amongst them, like the Cro-Magnon. And a few others, if we just go read the little excerpt. And that was part of the question that I had, because I heard you guys talking about the Green Sahara, and I heard you guys talking about the Western Sahara and the people that went back into Egypt and populated Egypt. But I only keep hearing the Western Sahara. I don't ever hear you talk about the other regions where the people came from that repopulated the Nile, the valley. Egypt.
Who?
You.
Oh wow.
All I keep hearing is the Western Desert, which is that old model of Nabta Playa, and that only those groups went in, and possibly some groups from the South, which also goes back to that came from the South model, which Sheikh Anta Diop and others used to argue as well, which is outdated.
No.
And I don't hear people talking about the
Eastern desert. I gotta come to Unkh's defense. Hold on, because he was just reading that.
No, we're not saying that. Hey, Nazi, we're not saying none of that.
We ain't saying none of that, Nazi. You
Okay.
about 10 years later. Yeah, I know you've been on the show in 10 years. You my man,
Unc
yo,
was
but
just reading that a minute ago, so I got to come to his defense on that. And that's why I'm confused.
So he talks about how the people came from the Eastern Desert as well.
Well, surrounding areas,
surrounding areas. Yo, hold on. Let me show you the map.
Right.
Let me show you the map.
The East. A lot of people don't know the Eastern Desert played the biggest role in the repopulation of Egypt and the Red Sea.
Hold on, the biggest role
and Sinai.
Nah, I'm gonna clip you. Let me clip your wings. I see where you're going. You're going far. I want to get you out the game real quick with a mapping system. Let me clip the wings. Gotta clip your wings. You're going too far. You went far.
Okay.
I seen it. I know it was coming. I know the far was coming. I seen you coming. Nah. This it. This that spectacular right here. Okay. This the one. Right. This the one they all try to play with, yo. This the one right here. Oh man.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. We actually mentioned it last time. We called it the Red Sea Hills, though.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, we talk about Ethiopia, all those areas. I mean, ain't that all in it's two sides of the river, ain't it?
No.
That is Egypt. Because it's Egypt all but to the Red Sea.
Well, you can. That's technically not considered.
The Eastern Desert. The Eastern Desert is the Red Sea Hills.
But I don't see no map in there. What are you talking about?
Red Sea Hills,
put the map on.
Egypt was specifically, when you go back to prehistoric Egypt and during the early dynastic period, it was considered the specific valley, the groups that settled along the river. That was ancient Egypt. Egypt even viewed, the early dynastic rulers even viewed, if you was in the desert.
We ain't talking about that. Can you see this right here?
A foreigner.
Do you see this?
They didn't view the people in the desert as.
Yo, do you see this though? I know we can see it. I'm gonna clip your wings. Do you see it?
I see it. I'm not saying you don't talk about it. I just said something.
No. But what is you looking? Do you know what you're looking at?
Yeah, I'm looking at the map.
This Copeland and Cooper. They the niggas, the only niggas that went in the damn thing. They went all. So you saying what? Because I want to show you this at 8. This is before 8,500 BCE. This is the archaeological record. So we ain't gonna start making people be somewhere they not. So right here in this area, okay, it's desert. Why is it desert? Because it's the ice age. You know what I mean? During this time period right here, they just coming out of that. Look, it's dry, right? The switch hadn't came in the Sahara. So these red dots just and look, longitude and latitude, yo. So you want to say the longitude, latitude 28, 34? Look, here you go. Look on the map. 28 degrees, 34 degrees, and make it come together. That's gonna be right here near the Red Sea. Ain't no damn people there at 8,500 you can talk about, yo. We can't talk about something that's not there.
You don't, okay.
But no, I'm saying we go
show 6,000.
It is. It is. We're gonna get that. Yeah, we're gonna get that. We're gonna get there, yo. Now look at B, 8,500 to 7,000 BCE, right? Look, ain't nobody in the Sinai Peninsula. That's still desert. Who the hell gonna live in the desert, yo? That's why we can say when they start talking crazy about Moses went across the Sinai Peninsula with a couple million people, yo. Come on, yo. There's no archaeological record there.
But hold on, let's be fair.
No, I'm not being fair. I don't want to be fair. That's what they tell pigs.
You really tell me just right there and stop being green. Just how could that happen?
Man, I can't.
I mean, if you just being just the longitude and latitude, why would it just right there just stop all of a sudden just be no vegetation there just based on longitude?
Because it's not there. It's not there right now today. It's still a desert.
But all of it is desertificated on these,
No, yo, listen. You're asking a wild question right now.
But that's cool. I'm just saying, if you look at that B map,
I want to come down to 24. Hold on, yo.
You're saying, but I'm just saying that.
Hey, Nazi, go to 34 latitude.
Yeah. Okay.
And 24 on map B, and see that dot right there's a dot right there, yo. See it?
Yeah.
That's on the other side of the river. So that's a settlement there on the other side of the river.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we're not taking that away. That's the settlement they identified. Now if you come to map C, right? And then you see 7,000 to 3,500 BCE, right? Look at the population down here in Khartoum. All right. If you look at 8,000, if you look at map B, there's only one settlement they found there. But if you go to map C, they found a whole cluster of people down there. All right. We know what Nabta Playa is on these maps, those who really study, right? So the population didn't just come from Nabta Playa. They came all the way up at the top, 26, 28, 28, 28, 26, longitude, latitude, and map C. Come on, y'all, use your shit you learned in school. Talking about for the people watching. All right. And then by the time you come to Pharaonic Egypt, this is what you want to talk about. Come time to Pharaonic Egypt, you got people in the Delta. Right? They found something. You got a lot of settlements on the other side of the river. Look at it.
Yeah, this map though, this map is not fully representative because we're talking about seasonal movers at this time.
I showed you the season.
But nobody's really settled at this time. People still on the move.
That's not true.
At this time.
Because I'm showing you
about through the different time periods down till we get to about 6,000, and then you start to see more seasonal caps. Because I can tell you for sure right now, 2 locations are not on your map.
Where? Because you know what this map is, right?
Yeah.
What is this map? It's another mistake everybody made.
It's some flaws in this whole.
Okay, so now it's flaws. They got look. Ain't nobody doing this. Do you see this?
Look, good map. But
look at this.
Where does it say these are settlements? Are these seasonal camps, or are these?
You want to read it?
Is what I'm asking. That's all I'm asking.
You want to read it? There you go.
Now, what I'm saying is,
y'all about
it was
climate
a population in North
Africa. Let me read it though. These are refugees.
12,000.
These are isolated settlements. Listen, 3. Figure 3. What is figure 3? Figure 3.
Clarity is important.
Look, figure 3. Climate control occupation of the Eastern Sahara during the main phase of the Holocene. Red dots indicate major occupation areas. White dots indicate isolated settlements, an ecological refuge. All right, an esoteric, what's this? Transhumanity. Man, you messed me up, man.
Transhumans.
Okay, let me go. Rainfall zones are deleted by best estimates. Okay, so that's
meaning people.
Figure 3.
People are on the go so much that they can't really track them.
Okay, and watch this. Let's go to A. Right, we looked at it. It say during the last glacial maximus. Y'all know what the last glacial maximus is, right? That's an ice age. And we know with ice ages, water gets sucked up into the ice caps. When the water gets sucked up into the ice caps, you know what I'm saying, desertification is occurring. All right. Now, archaeological, hold on, let me see. A during the last glacial, let me see, terminal Pleistocene, 20,000 to 8,500. That's why we got to study climate. Okay. It says the Sahara Desert was void of any settlements outside of the Nile Valley. And it's showing you right there.
Yeah,
okay. All right. Let me see. And extended about 40 kilometers further south than it does today. Then B, it says with the abrupt arrival of the monsoon rains in 8,500, because now the ice is melting, right? When that ice started to melt, you start to get the Green Sahara. Okay. It says rains about 8,500 CE. Hyper-arid deserts were replaced by savanna-like environments. Okay, swiftly inhabited by prehistoric settlers. So we have B. See, boom, boom, boom. They spread out around from the river, right? So if you got a source that's going to be detailed like this, then let's do it, right? So we know by time of Pharaonic Egypt is more closely to what you were saying, Nazi, right here, right? That's D. Okay, you find populations all over the daggone thing on both sides of the river, right? But you still ain't find nobody in the Sinai Peninsula. Nobody's living in the Sinai Peninsula, yo. Yeah, you got to be mountain town.
I'm not saying that anybody is necessarily living there. I said that they had seasonal camps there, meaning these are because you got to remember at this time a lot of people left out. That's why you don't see a lot of population, a lot of settlement. This is sparse population. This isn't like this is sparsely populated areas.
What
And we're
time
not even
period you
talking
talking about?
about, we didn't even talk
What
about
talking
who
about?
these people are yet.
We
Are
ain't get
these
there.
remnants of the Ibero-Mauritian people? Are these mectoids? Who are these people? Because the audience would assume that these are all sub-Saharan Black Africans.
No, nobody. No, I don't know. Not nobody
That's what
watching
I'm
my
saying.
show
All
in
that archaeology
2024
is
thinking that.
very important.
They ain't even in sub-Saharan. They not even in sub-Saharan Africa.
That's why
They
a
in
book
North
like
Africa.
this,
They in
that's
Northeast
why a
Africa.
book like this is important, because you understand who some of these people are.
No, hold on. Do we know? Do we got to look at a map?
Let me show a map. Huh? Hey, Uncle, let me show a map, yo. These people was mixed up, yo. These are mixed people.
But I'm saying the map ain't showing sub-Saharan Africa. Yo, is we serious about that though?
Yeah, it's just showing the Nile, and it's just showing just the region that we talking about right now, I guess.
Hold on. Wait a minute.
But
the
when
was
brother
showing
mentioned the Ibero-Mauritians,
Nah.
they're in that same time period of that. What is that? 20,000 to 8,000.
Look, the map was showing this, ladies and gentlemen. This what the map was showing.
Yeah.
It was just showing.
We're talking about tropical people, though. Don't get
Listen,
it.
Listen. I'm saying the map was showing Egypt and Sudan, yo. That's what it was showing. It was showing Northeast Africa.
Showing the Sahara. Showing the Sahara.
It wasn't showing sub-Saharan Africa because Sudan and Egypt is in Northeast Africa.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? So the Rift Valley is in, where's the Rift Valley at? Northeast Africa. The Rift Valley where humans started. Think about that, yo. And the Rift Valley runs into sub-Saharan Africa. I can get super technical on y'all. Did early human population start in sub-Saharan Africa? I don't know.
Yeah, I think the big problem is, man, we just got to figure out.
Nah, the big problem is we ain't studying. Here you go. Listen, the term Rift Valley is most often used to refer to the valley of East African Rift. The divergent plate boundary, which extended from a far triple junction southward through Eastern Africa and is in the process of splitting the African plate into two new separate plates. Geologists generally refer to these evolving plates as the Nubian plate and Somali. What do we see? I don't even think we really took time. We just was listening to people, dog. It's right here. Y'all can look at it. The Rift Valley. And it runs down into sub-Saharan Africa. And then we can get into the finds of where they found them at and all that. Come on, man. Yeah, they wasn't found there in Kenya. Tanzania.
Who wasn't found in Kenya?
I said the first Homo sapiens that they found was in the first. It was in the Rift Valley, yo.
Right. Yeah, that's a part of Kenya too. You know that, right?
Yeah, right. I'm showing you the Rift Valley, yo. I just read it.
But what I'm saying is, I think for me, for clarity's sake,
Uganda, Rift Valley is in. Look, that's the Rift Valley in Uganda.
That's Uganda. But what I'm saying is, you saying
there's a few places though. Look, look at the line. Look, I'm just showing you. Look, Rift Valley. Look.
Oh yeah, you going way. Yeah.
The Great Rift. Look, the Great Rift.
Yeah.
Look, see the dotted lines.
Fossils and stuff at.
Yeah, it runs. Look where it runs from. See, it run all the way down there. Y'all can see it.
Yeah.
Past, down in Lake Victoria. Look, it's all the way up in there. That's the rift. That's where and they explain the plates and the boundaries of it. All right. So Homo sapiens sapiens was in, in what you call sub-Saharan Africa. All right. But look where the plate run all the way to. All right. And then by the time they get in the valley and they stand there, that's Northeast Africa. And they got the whole, let me see if I can make this bigger. All right. So all that area right there, look, all that area. That's why in Morocco, you got some of the oldest Homo sapien bones. In Morocco, see all that?
Morocco way over to the left, though, Be fair. Come on, man. That ain't got nothing to do with it.
I'm saying that Morocco got some of the oldest Homo sapiens.
Yeah, they found something. I don't know if Gullah would.
Oh, wow. All right, let me get out of here. Nah. I'm out of it.
I'm just telling you,
I feel you.
Archaeology, they were trying to say that they trying to put it off in a certain particular group, or maybe trying to say it might be.
Gullah, you want to show a map? I know you wanted to get on yours, so I'm gonna shut up. because he argued with me about Morocco, and I don't want to do that.
Put the article back up, huh?
All right, you got Sufi.
Hey, thanks for letting me on this and Gozy. What's up, brother Nazi Lee? I ain't seen you in 100 years, bro. What's happening?
Came back trying to get us.
What's up with you, man? I call Ankh on the humbug, so I jumped on real quick before I go to sleep, get up and go to work in the morning, man. What's up with you?
Man, peace and love to you, brother. Good to see you, and man, it's really, really good to see you, bro. We go back a long, long time, man. And definitely
shoot, Nazi team Osiris. He was team Osiris.
He was.
Hell no, he was a Hebrew cheating for Nazarel. Giving all the information, just get beat up when he came to the Power Ranger outfit. That's who he is, goddamn. He they researcher. Let's call it what it is.
Nazi, you still a Hebrew or you
Nazi hijacked the info and did what he wanted to do. He had a whole other plan.
Hey, Nazi, you still a Hebrew or you no longer Hebrew?
You know what? I consider myself Hebrew as an enthusiast. So I call myself a Hebrew Israelite as an enthusiast. I just wrote a book, man, dealing with the origin of Hebrews.
Oh, that's dope. That's dope. What is it called?
It's called The Origin of the Hebrews.
I made shit up. The Origin of the Hebrews.
Their ethnogenesis, DNA, and the birth of modern DeFi.
How? I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna look into it. It's on Amazon, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's on Amazon. I'm gonna do a PowerPoint on it soon.
Oh, you ain't sent me no book? Really?
Man, I don't even have one yet.
Well, when you get one, send me one, man. You playing.
Yeah.
Wow. You mean you ain't order yourself a couple copies, yo? So people can promote the book, yo, and you give it to them, yeah.
I got you.
Damn. All right. What you got right here?
I figured I might have to beat you up with it though. So I was saving.
You gonna save it?
But no, I just wanted to show this real quick, and I'm glad Ngozi's on here. But basically, this is the Bulgarian culture of ancient Egypt, right? I'll go back to the title in a second. I just want to read through some of it real quick. Therefore, there's no evidence that the Badarian, this page 213, therefore, there's no evidence that the Badarian had herds of cattle, sheep, or goats, and if they had some domesticates. I want to skip down. That's just talking about the cattle. 59 crania were taken from the Badari region during 1924 and 1925 excavations and sent to England and placed at the disposal of the biometric laboratory in London. A complete set of measurements were taken and an attempt was made to compare the results to other available data from Egypt and elsewhere. Stosiger did that study. The craniology of ancient Egypt has been studied in great detail, probably more so than any other culture. It has produced the most varied of theories as regarding the origins of the Egyptians. Morant. Initially, the people of early pre-dynastic Egypt were divided into two distinct races of man living in Egypt, Upper Egypt, Lower Egypt. Flinders Petrie concluded that it was to Palestine and Syria that we must look for any traces of earlier history of the Badarians. And I'll tell you why he said that. I'm gonna keep going though.
You better run over that quick.
Similarly, comparisons, but this is what the UNESCO conference was about. Similarly, comparisons concluded that the Badarian race does not resemble the Mediterranean or any Negro type outside of Egypt, but more closely with the primitive Indian, the Dravidian, and the Veda.
Oh, you got an old
same thing,
what's the date on that source? 1937. All right, you're in 1937.
But this article is just, it's giving you the earlier sources. This is from 2016.
Now you really
it says in a chapter dedicated to the discussion. Go ahead.
I was gonna add on. And
okay.
If you go into the citations, the great sources that they got on Wiki about the Badarian and the Tajan cranial metrics, right? It falls in line with like that description. It falls in line with Ethio-Somali. Ethio-Somali is non-African. So in that time they would have said that. And this time we'll say Ethio-Somali. Or you have the portion that went into the Western Maghreb. Or when we look at the Natufian-like phenotype, that's what they would have fell in line with. So if you go, I can get a chance after you're finished, Nazi, to add on. You start looking at the Badarians and you go to the anthropology of how it describes them, or the Tajans. It talks about how most of them were intermediate. Another group was this, and another group was that.
Yeah.
That's line with the Dravidian or Indian, or Ceylon Grace also said it with the cranial metrics when he compared the skulls, and he said about how they fall in line with, say, Eurasian, Indian, and to the line with populations in the Horn of Africa. But we know where that morphology stems from, and it falls in line with Ethio-Somali.
Yeah, exactly. And
That's
that's eventually what I'm gonna get to, but I'm gonna finish this real quick. It says in chapter 117, dedicated to a discussion on the Badari skulls by G.M. Morant, 35, he found that the Badarian type resembles the other pre-dynastic Egyptian series available, but with a closer affinity to early pre-dynastic series rather than the late pre-dynastic. I'm gonna skip down to this next page. The Negro connection implies the Badarian is somewhat connected to the South, but this is very much an assumption and inconclusive. Brennan, 37. 2 craniological series of the Badarian culture were analyzed. The first series excavated by the British School of Archaeology in 2425 and the second series in 2830. Both series were found to morphologically close, representing a basically identical population. Later analysis of 117 skulls, 53 skulls in Cambridge and 64 skulls in Cairo, showed that 15 were to be markedly Europoid, 9 European, 6 North African, Cro-Magnon. That's saying a lot because now we're going back to the Mectoids, progenitors, the Ibero-Mauritians. Now we got an 8 Negroid being close to the Negroid type occurring in East Africa, and the majority of the 1994 skulls showed mixed Europoid Negroid features with some outer weight to the European side, to Europoid side, I should say. Now, Soikiata also did a study, and he said that the hybridization, so he called them hybridized as well, but he said this is typical in Northeast Africa, and they still had tropical African affinities. Correct. Even though there is this hybridization, this or this admixture, so to say. He's saying that in some cases it's like local cases of epigenetics, which is local variations. That's how he describes it and explains it. So you would have somebody that maybe wanted to use this for their advantage and say, see, it's Europeans there. See, it's this there. No, that's just the variance that you have just in that area. And it probably involves ancient admixture as well, like you guys were talking about earlier. I think you were in the Paleolithic time when you had a lot of back migrations coming back in, which affected those populations, but they still were indigenous at these points in time when we talk about the settlement in 5,000, 4,000, 3,000, when we talk about the Gurza, the Badarian, and those various cultures, the Amratian, and all of that. They were populations that were indigenous to the area at that point in time, though. You know what I mean? So we're just talking about local variations, but Northeast Africa typically resembled Ethio-Somali, and that's what Kiata says. Even about, and that's part of what the book is about the original stock of Hebrews, the original foundational group. He compared them to Ethio-Nubian. That's how he described them. Same way. So they had the same affinities as the ancient Egyptian populations. Go ahead, and go.
If you look at Ceylon Brace article about the cranial metrics when he was doing that, it falls in line with that. But not just that, a powerful people that we should focus on before the Badarians and the Tasians and even the Nakata, then it's Badarian and the Tasians, is the Fayum A group. Fayum A and the Merimbis that was up there. And you start to see certain flint tools and animal type that was in the later phase of the Levantine population or the Levant. That's why I like to say a post-Natufian phase and other groups of people started to merge, especially around crossing through Arabia and hitting Northeast Africa. Near the base plateau where they start to really meet up is in North Sudan. That's why the Nubian A group is slightly distinct from the Nubian C group. And they look more similar to the population in Upper Egypt. People don't understand that. They wouldn't have looked like the population with the Nubian C group. It was a distinction. Matter of fact, and what Uncle's talking about when Lower Egypt dried out, and a lot of people found refugium in some layers of the Sahara, and some people crossed down into Arabia had a wet phase as well. They crossed over there and they found refugium back into East Africa. People ignore that layer as if Sudan was like a foundational base spot for humanity. No, it was meeting grounds.
Yeah.
So in northern Sudan, they would have been more distinct than the populations that you see there now. And they would have fell in line with populations in Upper Egypt, especially when you look at the Nubian A group that shared very close affinity with dynastic Egyptians. But I don't think people really ready for that.
Yeah, because they was Cushitic. Because they was Cushitic people. They was already cousins. They was cousins to North Eritrea people that was, that became the Egyptians or whatever. And then like the C group was just like, they was just really just A group people niggas that was in decline. They was like poor versions of A group niggas. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I don't know about that. The original A group,
and they probably had a little.
No, I was just gonna say the original A group was more like he said, more like a Somali, Ethiopian, Tigrinian, Eritrean.
That's what I said. That's what I said. Cushitic.
Yeah.
That's what I said. Cushitic. That's what Somalis are. Somalis are Cushitic group.
Okay.
In the C group. Hold on. Let me break it down. The C group or descendants of the A group, but the only thing is the C group assimilated amongst Nilo-Saharan populations.
Okay. All right.
They're the same people.
And they phenotypes started.
They Cushitic. The C group are Cushitic speakers too.
Yep. And so
I was gonna say unless they got assimilated, because that C group that comes in, they're more migrants.
They did, but you know what's crazy? When we really follow it, the more Nilotic or Negro, whatever you want to call it, I don't want to say that, but the more Nilotic population comes in later. Regions. You know what I'm saying? And people, I don't think people are really ready for that. Even when you study Jebel Sahaba and you start to see the two distinct groups, and in the earlier article it said one was Afro-Libertine European. Again, Ethio-Somali. Again, Ethio-Somali is distinct from Ethiopic. Ethio-Somali falls in line. It's a difference. People say when you say Ethio-Somali to try to place them with black. No, Ethio-Somali is a morphology that comes from outside of that continent and back migrated compared to the simple Ethiopic. And I don't think people realize that. The people in Sokotra,
Ethiopic.
That's referencing the crania. That's referencing the crania, y'all. When they say Swahili say Ethio-Somali or Ethio, whatever, he's referencing the crania.
That's actually it is that too. But what Gozi talking about right now, he's talking about that, and it's an actual genetic component too.
Okay,
it is a genetic component, absolutely.
Like the Ethiopic component is like some people say Ethiopic and some people say Amadic. Some people say Amadic component.
Or they say motor Ethiopic.
Yeah, motor because my bad, bro.
No, go ahead.
I was saying because the Ethio-Somali component is really just it's really just an offshoot of a basal Eurasian that went back into the continent. Some came back in through the Levant, some came back in through Arabia and mixed in with some Amadic or Mota type groups.
Yep, there you go, Gullah. I mean, that's just what happened, and this is what you see in Jebel Sahaba. This is not one peopling group, and it goes back to what Nazi said. When he said people was just moving around, it wasn't settled. Because by the time you get to dynastic Egypt, you know, especially 5,000 years ago, 5,005. Because remember, the Chalcolithic age in the Levant, there was a population turnover. This is when you start to see Iranian and pre-Armenian, which had a large influx of Caucasus hunter-gatherer genetic signatures start to really integrate into the Levant and cause a population turnover. The earlier people in the Levant at that time were really pre-Proto-Neolithic B and A groups, or pre-Proto-Neolithic A, B, and C groups. They died out when the Chalcolithic phase happened, when the Carper age came in, and those people from Iran came in. So they hit that area 6,500 years ago. They hit Egypt because it happened in phases around 5,500 years ago. And this is why you start to really see certain signatures or art that's very similar to things in Mesopotamia. You see it. It gets real funny at this time period. And that's in the
trade routes.
Yeah, that's the second half of the Nakata
Yes, the Nakata II.
The Nakata II period. There you go. The second half of the Nakata period. And so it's very strange. So around dynastic Egypt, those dudes would have been close to what we classify as modern day Copts, because they already had those strong shared affinity with those populations. The earlier population were more close to Natufians. But at this period, 4,000 or 5,000 years ago, they were very more close, middle dynastic phase or middle dynasty Egyptians. They would have been more closer to the Coptic population. The earlier phases would have been more closer to the Natufians. So it's crazy, bro.
And I would say even today, even if you look at cops, a lot of people don't really know cops like that. They just be thinking cops look one way. It's still cops that still had that Ethio-Somali look, that still got that Horner type look to them. You know what I'm saying? Even if you look up the patriarch of Alexandria, he still look like damn near he could be Emperor Haile Selassie cousin. You know what I'm saying? He copped it. Remember I showed you that dude, the Egyptian priest that traveled to Ethiopia. You know what I'm saying? Because you know a lot of the priests of Ethiopia had to come from Egypt. And if you look at him, he looked just like an Ethiopian. You know what I'm saying? He was just like a Habesha dude.
Correct. And here's the thing about these, and you're absolutely correct, Gullah. I've seen that. He was an Egyptian priest. And we got to remember the Ethiopian Orthodox Church is connected at base capital to the Church of Alexandria, the old Coptic church. But I don't think people know that. Like they say, the oldest church only exists in Ethiopia and Armenia. But for Ethiopia, a lot of their base roots is in Egypt. So a lot of people don't know that. But here's the thing. Basal Eurasians went through a bottleneck and they had further genetic drift. And as they went through a bottleneck, the Basal Eurasian was the only population that didn't receive Neanderthal signals compared to other mainland Eurasians. Those populations would have been closer to pre-Arabian hunter-gatherers. And that's why modern Bedouins or people of Yemen or people of Socotra have the highest percentage of this Basal Eurasian-like signal that diverged from ancestral North Africans a long time ago, went through a bottleneck, and became its own independent thing. So even those later Eurasians, the Coptic component and all those other things, they are all still related in genetic distance to those populations that shared, yet and still they're distinct. And there has been a lot of misplacement and bottlenecks and mixing in the Levant. A lot of these changes happen in the Levant first before even going through Egypt. But then we have to look at the Zuzana population of Cro-Magnon type people that hit North Africa, that crossed through Italy and intermingled with the fragmented Assyrians that was lingering around. So the thing is about this hypothetical population,
and they became the Ibero-Maurutians out of that.
And they became Ibero-Maurutians out of that. And the signatures or the layers only match with Zuzana, and the Zuzana populations exist in the Lesser Caucasus. And when you look at them, the Zuzana, when you look at the cross-reference population that makes them up, it's Basal Eurasian and Villabrana population, which is the Epigravitetian population of hunter-gatherers in Europe. So some of those people went back and they had the same signals of what we're labeling as Basal Eurasian or whatever you want to call it that existed in those pre-Arabian hunter-gatherer groups who had no Neanderthal signals. It was coming from two directions. One crossing, I can't say 30,000 years because mtDNA U6 didn't even arose 30,000 years ago. We have to look at how old mtDNA U is before we even get to U6. So it makes sense when we look at the molecular clock of the timing estimate, the population crossed into North Africa and became Ibero-Maurutians 23,000 years ago, right? And then another layer of those people, same people without the Villabrana signature, who were more closer to pre-Arabian hunter-gatherers, were already sharing genetic affinities going backwards and forth with people in the Northeast Africa. Because here's the thing, the Harithians, who match with the Fayum A group, who match with the pre-Neolithic culture, was going backwards and forth in that portion of the corridor already much later. So a lot of the genetic will be close to Middle Easterners than it would be to tropical sub-Saharan Africans. It wouldn't make sense for them to be like tropical sub-Saharan.
Yeah, and some of them Harithians came out of the Red Sea Hills too, mixing in. That's why they got them E3B markers from.
and that E has a long run in Africa because the E, based off the Holocene time period when it was merged together at base, EM96 or macro haplogroup E, that's 72,000 to 67,000 years old. Where did it come from?
I got an interesting map too that can help what we're saying too. It's an arid map.
So hold on. I mean, y'all been going for a minute. So let's just try to simplify this, what you're saying, right? Mm-hmm. So you going all over with the naming conventions, right? But the really thing that only matters is, are they Homo sapiens sapiens or are they admixed Homo sapiens sapiens? That's the simplified way of understanding this.
Are you okay? So I'm going to answer your question. The Natufians lack Neanderthal signatures.
Okay. So stop right there. Okay, look, but hold on. You've been talking, so I just want to get some understanding right there. When you bring up Natufians, I got that. I already know that, right?
I want to
just slow down right there. When you bring them Natufians, what I'm saying is on the planet, based on the different type of ancient hominoids or whatever you want to call them that mixed in with the modern Homo sapiens sapiens, you only have three possibilities based on the stuff that we have available to us today, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Why you talking about Natufians, bro? Why you talking about modern humans and all this?
Because what I'm trying to establish right now is for me personally. For me personally, if you don't have any admixture with any of these Hold on.
Yeah, I want to answer your question.
I'm answering Gullah right now.
Okay.
The reason why I'm establishing this for me personally, because I understand that until you get that admixture with Neanderthal, you don't get an Eurasian.
So let me explain something to you, James. Let me.
Yeah,
James, hold on. We got 3 different things. We got like, hold
James,
on.
let me ask you a question that take me less than 2 minutes. So listen.
You can't. He not gonna understand, yo.
No, I do understand. I understand naming conventions, and I
You
understand that it's only three. It's only
Goes
three.
there, says something. Goes there, says something.
Okay, go ahead.
So the Natufians had little to none Neanderthal. So overall.
Oh, I'm not doing it. No, I'm not doing it.
No. I wanted to just say
You have to do it if you
No,
want to
I'm not
understand what's
doing
going
this
on. Let them talk.
No, we're gonna keep this conversation right here, yo.
Okay.
You do not understand Neanderthals. I'm not trying to force you to understand it.
It don't got nothing to do.
Do you think you turn to a whole other human when you mix with Neanderthals?
He's trying to explain what me and him talking about.
You're not gonna understand none of that, James. I'm not mad at you.
That's because you don't understand, but he understands what I'm talking about.
You don't understand what you're talking about.
Okay, well let him explain if he understands what I'm talking about.
Go, do you know what that nigga talking about?
Yeah, I get what he's trying to say. And
what he trying to say? Explain to us.
So what he's trying to say is he's trying to say that you don't have any Eurasians until admixture with Neanderthals. That's what he's That's
exactly what I'm saying.
So I want to explain something to him. Earlier Eurasians that left out of Northeast Africa, called the Immigrat culture, that split from Aterians 70,000 to 83,000 years ago, did not receive Neanderthal signals. They did not get that integration. They don't get that until they get into the Monad zones of Israel around 50,000 years ago in that portion of the world. The earlier Eurasians at base, this is why the basal Eurasians was able to dodge it, because they diverged or split off from other main Eurasians going south where there was no Neanderthal population there. So they was absent of that. So here's the thing. So here's the thing.
He's slow, bro.
The population of the Zuzana, who represents a two-way population, Villabranna type that was Epigravitetians, who did have Neanderthal signature, and the basal Eurasians that decreased it before some of them migrated into Africa. So this is why the Ibero-Maurutians had some Neanderthal DNA in them to a less extent compared to the Natufians.
But hold on, Ngozi. See, this is what the trick is right here. Because why?
Yeah, I'm trying to
hold on, listen to what I'm saying. Hold on, listen to
hold on, Ngozi. Hold on.
Listen to what I'm saying. And that's true. But so do I. So that don't mean if I have a little bit of it. Hold on. If I have a little bit of it, and they got the less, a little bit of what, yo? Hell, if they got less of it than I got, they're gonna be African in the sense. Even if you do have the percentage that they have, they're still gonna be considered African. That's what I'm saying.
Hey, now, James, can I ask you a question, James?
Are you telling me
James,
that I'm wrong?
I want to ask you a question, James.
I'm talking. Hold on. Let me ask you, Dozy.
Am
I wrong?
No,
because they're Africans. That's what they are.
Exactly.
Nobody said they wasn't. They're African. You can have.
Okay, now hold on,
man. I'm moving.
This dude point is slow, bro. You can't compare that to yourself. You got 90 copies of DNA, bro.
What we're doing now, we're going into 2023.
Compare that to that, dude. We talking about people
the people that are there today don't have that same DNA as the Ibero.
Let's leave it alone before the show stops. Let's leave it alone. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah, but they don't have it. They don't have the same DNA as those people.
Hey, James.
Because I had a map to show. We had all the way off this dude, man. Yeah, here we go. Dang. Yeah, can y'all see that?
Yeah. Make it bigger. Blow it up. Hit the blow. Yeah. But keep going.
Hold on, I was going up a little bit.
Make it bigger though. You can make it bigger. You can make it bigger though. Bigger.
There we go.
Bigger. There you go.
Yeah, I was gonna get into right here, man. This map is 16 to 15,000 years ago in Africa. I'm just trying to show like the people, the different people groups, even before you even get to the Green Sahara. Damn. Lost the damn one.
Let's go to the page you had on. What book is that?
This ain't even a book. This is a
PDF.
This a Cambridge Eric, 14,000 years to
say Africa from 48,000 to
90.
95,000.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. Go up a little bit. I was just trying to get into the groups that we see before we even get to the Green Sahara, before we even inhibited. You can see these different groups around the Nile.
It must have been a desert. Okay, go ahead.
This 16 to 15,000 years ago, and you got the Iranian. You got the Iranian cultures and the East Iranian. It's the Iranian is the same. It's synonymous with Abu Marouj. You know what I'm saying? You got the Eastern ones. You got so the ones all throughout the Mediterranean. Down here, you see, you got different people groups here. You don't just got one group. So you got your Niger Gaddafian people here in Western Sudan. You know what I'm saying? These are the ancestors to the Niger Congo people before they even go west or even into the Central Sahara. And right here in the middle Nile, in the southern middle Nile, you got Nilo-Saharan groups. It's their heartland. It's their cultural heartland right here. And then to the Red Sea hills, you have the foothills of the right immediately north of the Horn. You have the origins of where Afrasian peoples, Afro-Asiatic languages start. And they migrated up into the north, into the Nile, to the Nile regions. Now I want you to read to y'all this from Eric's book, you know what I'm saying, going into 9500 BCE, going to when it actually got wet. And it say one notable constant throughout this history was the correlation of ethnicity with climate. It say the great shift in African rainfall belt after 9500 BCE, as we have already seen, established two different climatic regimes in the Eastern Sahara. Mediterranean grasslands advanced far south and became more extensive in the Red Sea hills, while in the west of the northern Red Sea hills, dry Mediterranean steppe vegetation extended as far as southern parts of modern-day Egypt. In this regime, rainfall arrived in cool seasons of the year equivalent to the wintertime in the northern hemisphere, but from far southern Egypt southward, the tropical African steppe prevailed. Its rains coming at the same time as the northern summer. Throughout the wet phase, Erythrite communities of Afrasian agricultural tradition resided in the Mediterranean environments, east and north of the climatic transition. As you see on this map, east and north. You know what I'm saying? The Red Sea Hills and going up north. And it say northern Sudanic peoples, which was Eric, he called the Northern Nilo-Saharan groups. Northern Sudanic people occupied the east and the northern climatic transition. Northern Sudanic peoples occupied the tropical steppes to the south. Cultural influences flow both ways, and the people must have frequently have interacted in position, but their ethnic groups as a whole tended to spread out within the environmental zone they already occupied.
So I'm going to ask everybody on the panel: Are we in agreement with that populations pre-dynastic okay, hold on.
No,
that the Horn of Africa population is mixed with Western Eurasian and African populations. Are we in agreement with that?
Repeat that question.
That so we know we ain't got no DNA sequenced from the pre-dynastic material yet. Mm-hmm. We agree that, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, but if you come to the Christian era, modern Nubia, and also along with modern Afro-Asiatic speaking population in the Horn of Africa, did they descend from a mix of Western Eurasian and African populations? Can we agree to that?
Yeah, they mixed. Yes.
They do.
60% East African, maybe 40% Eurasian genes. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Somali populations.
Yep. And they come in different levels too.
Hold on, what
Ethiopian population.
talking about right here? I didn't hear you.
And it come back in different. It come back.
But I'm just saying though, so we shouldn't.
Because hold on, if you go back to Mota,
no,
you don't have
the Mota man.
we can almost track.
Bro,
We can
I'm
almost
just talking about what we do have as far as DNA data.
Hey.
No, let me finish my point, y'all. I was quiet for an hour, man. I'm saying, can we all agree that those Northeast African populations is mixed?
Yes,
indeed.
In Africa. So then what's the hold on. So James, I want to ask you a question, James. Let's just say it wasn't no sub-Saharan Africans in Egypt. Would that all of a sudden stop Egypt from being an African population, yo?
Well, unfortunately, man, I don't understand why we don't understand.
The
time that we dealing in, we can do precise.
No, I want to answer, yo. Just say.
I'm understanding. So we're in a time where we can do precise measurements with DNA.
We no answer the question.
We're no longer in a period where that got to be something that we can.
I know, so you're going to answer the question though.
What the question that you asked was, do I agree that North Africans were mixed with Eurasian?
No, we're off that. I said if North Africa, if the Egyptians, right, which is a Northeast African population, right? Egypt itself, if it didn't have no sub-Saharan Africans in that motherfucker, right? Would it stop them? Would it stop the Egyptians from being indigenous Africans? That's what I asked you.
That's a good question.
Yes.
Right. That's why I don't need to talk to you, because that's crazy. Because I thought Sudan was in Northeast Africa, yo.
But you're talking about humans.
No, I'm not. No, I know I'm not. I'm talking about what
you're talking about Homo sapiens sapiens.
Man,
if Homo sapiens sapiens, then it ain't not
that far out.
Bro, Neanderthals.
See what I'm saying? That's what you're
talking about, bro.
This is crazy. That you think that I'm crazy because I'm telling you that the only humans you're talking about, if we go back to the bare minimum.
Nazi.
Egypt, fam. He said ancient Egypt.
But
ancient Egyptians are Homo sapiens sapiens at their core.
What they got to do with what we saying? We don't got to dispute that at their core. So it's something else. You either Homo sapiens or you not, bro.
When we get to talking about the back migration,
I'm not doing that, man. Your brain just dreamt. What I said was, if the Nile Valley in Egypt, nope, I said, the question I asked was,
give the time period, huh?
Man, the formulation of Egypt.
So we talking between 5,000 and 4,000, around that approximately.
Yeah, till the damn day. I'm saying, if it wasn't no sub-Saharan Africans in there, would you consider the Egyptians to be indigenous Africans? You said no. I'm saying I don't think nobody on this panel think that make any sense, because North Africans are indigenous Africans, and Northeast Africans are indigenous Africans, and South Africans are indigenous Africans, and Central Africans are indigenous Africans, and West Africans are indigenous Africans. There is no one way to be a damn African, no one way to look African.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying, bro. Like, we had to grow away from that. I mean, we had to catch up with the science, yo. You looking for Black Africa, yo. So if you saying Black Africa is strictly sub-Saharan Africa, right? Then you just put yourself in a wild ass bind.
Well, there's
because you got people in Nubia that's dark skinned.
Hold on.
You got the upper Egyptians, yo. Hawal said out his mouth they dark skinned.
Africans, stop it.
You said what?
If there is a such thing as Africans, there is a such thing as a non-African.
Yo, we talking about in Africa, yo.
Yeah, I know, in Africa. And there's some non-Africans in Africa right now.
Yeah, but they not the formation of Egypt.
Yeah, I know that. But see, the whole argument is kind of convoluted right now because maybe I'm thinking about some people that said that the people in Egypt now have always been there. That kind of terminology and stuff like that keep flashing in my head. So maybe
they have always been there. Yo, 30,000 years is forever.
But they wasn't there 30,000 years ago.
30,000 years is forever, yo.
He going by skin color, man.
I'm not going by skin color. I'm going by what genetics say. The people that are Eurasians that are there today, the Arabs, which is not an African culture.
You gotta listen.
In North Africa today. What's going on?
I'm not doing this with James.
I lived there, bro.
Yeah, he lived in Egypt. Oh, that's right. You sure did, didn't you? He ain't never left his house in YouTube.
We know that Arabic religions are not. It's not an African religion.
This man say he lived in Egypt.
I mean, we know they had Arab invasion, so you know you got populations that are similar. That you know
that is not African culture. So the people that are there today,
a little bit of it is African culture. They speak an African language, Philo. They speaking Semitic.
Stop it. We talking about genetically, culturally, and all kinds of stuff.
Bro, when you go
historically, we know all of this stuff. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I just came on to make it entertaining because Unc said there's nobody coming on. But I'm just telling you, man, I don't.
That's just way out.
Don't fly, bro. But let me mute out and let y'all continue.
No, you good.
We know historically.
You making the conversation interesting. Shit. You don't have to.
I think it goes. You trying to say something though.
So look, James. I just want to say this to the audience. You have people that back migrated into the continent of Africa way before Native Americans crossed the land bridge. The oldest Native American population that they're labeling as indigenous only goes back 16,000 years. And if you want to go through the Clovics and different things, they crossed over here only 16,000 years ago. And according to what we have today, the Native Americans are indigenous to America. You have people that back migrated into the continent 23,000 and highest 30,000 years ago. They adjusted, they created later clays, they went through adaptations, they went through convergence, they went through different shifts to make them distinct and only aboriginal to those zones through time, right? It's just like New World Americans. We are not ancient Americans. We are New World Americans. And African Americans is an ethnic group based off our portion of history. I'm not talking about going back 500 years. We're talking about this portion of North America, which is only established 247 years ago. Our identity, when we was trying to find one, was only placed at a certain time period. So we are part of the New World America, and we are indigenous, which is our nativity, to this portion. We are Americans. And America is predominantly what we know is Northern European at the highest percentage, or the Europeans that founded are different groups of Europeans. And then you have, Hispanics, the second largest population, and you have us. We make up 14%, and it's 40 million of us. And they can tell the distinction between the portions of African Americans that's been here for that long, not to mention the integration of the Northwestern European component that's in all of us, ranging from 5% or 2% within you, and all the way to some AAs or African American Creoles that ranges all the way up to 30%. Even though our overall DNA composition is 70 to 80% to 60% so-called sub-Saharan Western Central Africa. And there's
hold on. That's beautiful right there, Ngozi. Now watch this. At what point in that whole mathematical equation you just made do you stop being a sub-Saharan African?
So this is what I'm saying. Your nationality is American. You are ethnically African American. Your nationality is American.
Okay, I got that.
Hold on, listen.
We're talking about genetics, though. I'm talking about genetically.
So genetically, you are African American. The remnants that make you African American is that 70 to 60 or whatever percentage of so-called sub-Saharan African in you. So if you got that shit in you and it shows the signatures of the populations that was snatched and brought here, your ass is African American. But because you have a long period with the majority of the population here, who was the foundation of what created this world, including you, because you're part of the foundation of this country as well. But you also have the integration of that Northwestern European, the Scot-Irish, or the British. The shit is in you. Some people got point percentages of lesser Native American in them at 0.3%, 10%. If you from Oklahoma, you might got 3 to 2%. So what I'm saying is that is the story of what makes you here, this portion, which makes you distinct If you put you on a PCA, it'll make you distinct from your direct brothers that was in Nigeria and Gabon and Cameroon.
Yeah, but the only thing I was asking you to do is flip those genetics and tell me at what percentage do you stop being so if I was 70% of the other of my genetics, would I not be African American no more?
If you was
if I was 70% European, would I not be that's what I'm trying to ask you.
So according to the standards of what America corruption is, when they said that so-called one drop rule, right? I'm not saying we base that now because it's outdated, but I'm just saying if we was living back in the day and you was looking like that mayor of New York, what's his name, Clayton Powell, and you look at his genetic history and his genetic tree, he probably was only 25 to 30% sub-Saharan.
Okay.
Black. So what I'm saying is, it depends on what you want to do. That's a flip coin situation because you do have AAs who are only 30 to 40% sub-Saharan.
So let me go. What if I'm only 5%? What if I'm only 5% sub-Saharan African? Then would I still be sub-Saharan African? If you, I can show you some people. That's only 5% sub-Saharan African if you want me to.
Hey, Nazir Lee, you want to say something about this? About the Hunter's palette?
I mean,
we know about the Hunter's palette.
Y'all can elaborate on that, Gozy and Jack. What's his Pan-African James? I just want to say real briefly, like these individuals on this palette, they were indigenous to Egypt. These were the prehistoric inhabitants, along with the ones you see on Narmer palette. If you recall it, or if you pull it up, you see them. And if you look on Kazakemi, he went the first description that we have of Tai Seti, a symbolic representative, an image that we see of Tai Seti. They have large noses. They look like Asiatics. You know what I'm saying? But that was that early Ethio-Somali. I think Soy Kiata calls them Egypto-Nubio. He kind of describes it like that. And that's what they look like. I mean, there's no escaping that. There's no getting around that. Now, did you have others that look more typical of, stereotypical Africans, Negroid? Because I think
what's the stereotypical African? I don't like that.
That's what I was about to say. Stereotypical Negroid. When we think of
that's racist. That's stereotypical racist.
That's why I say you had Nilo-Saharan groups. That's why I showed that map. You had Nilo-Saharan groups.
I ain't want to cut you off though.
But it's still talked about in our archaeology and our anthropological.
Yeah, and they're trying to get that out of that though, because it don't make sense.
Basically saying that the nose was prognathistic, the jawbone. Typical tropical features is basically what they're trying to say. Now I will call it affinities, and more scholars are moving towards describing.
All right, so let me play this. Let's hear what Hawal's got to say, and then we're gonna let Chris, the MVP, dive in. Hold on, let me do this. Hold on, Gozy. I want to hit this. Here we go.
They were not big, but they were not black, but they're not Negro. Because look at the length of the Negroes like that and the nose like this. It's not really the Egyptian origin at all. It's different, completely different. And this is why you cannot connect the Egyptian civilization with the African at all. It's different. Or from Syria, Palestine, Mesopotamia, it's different completely.
So you got to ask yourself, what the hell is this guy talking about? They was dark skinned. So he was basically trying to say that they was dark skinned, but they ain't have the big noses and big lips. But that's actually a racist stance, right? He was trying to got himself into trouble. They ain't got nothing to do with the Africans. Why he in Africa? Why he was born in Africa? So that's the type of language they're gonna use, right? He just want to say they're Egyptians. Fine. But he said he was dark skinned though. And he's talking about the upper Egyptians. They was dark skinned.
Yeah, he trying to describe the best way he can, like describe that Somali, Ethiopian, Somali,
and fight against James. He really was trying to fight against James. But Chris, what's going on?
Hey,
talk to us.
Before you call, Chris, I'm on the side. When somebody said in the chat, African Americans is not. I'm not saying indigenous is the population that came here. I'm saying the 247 years, because America that we know that we live in is 247 years old. And you are part of the foundation of the new world in that layer. I'm not talking about ancient indigenous population. So if I did say that, I probably was speaking too fast. I wasn't talking about indigenous foundation in America. I'm talking about America that's 247 years old. That portion of America. Native means your nativity. You know, your nationality is your nativity, and your nativity is wherever the fuck you from in America. If you from Mississippi, Tennessee, Baltimore, whatever, within this portion of America, that's your nativity. Your ass American. That's just what it is. That's all I'm saying.
So I tell you what's funny. I think we talked about this. That the Native Americans only been in America, what, 15,000 years or so approximate, right? Roughly. But we consider them to be the native population. But you got that mixture occurring in North Africa. Those people came in and mixed indigenous populations, and they've been there for 30,000 years, and they not indigenous. That's a problem there. What's up, Chris?
And they even mutated too.
Well, I'm sure. First of all, I'm trying to hear your argument here because I just woke up and somebody called me and they said Ankh was speaking on some things that you and him were talking about here. So what exactly? What are you trying to frame here?
We were just having a good conversation based off
about just having
based off of was it the after show. So James came and moved the conversation way off. We can get back on you though. We end up in the Neanderthal some damn.
No, but hold on. Before we end what I was talking about.
Hold on.
Because he never did get to what I was trying to get to.
Hold on, James. Go ahead, Mr. What's your question?
I just want a really quick question for clarity. Did Hawaii say something about they didn't have nothing to do with Africa or Egypt? And if you maybe
Africa. He said they ain't nothing to do with the Africans. So to him, an African is a.
He said Egypt didn't have anything to do with the Africans.
Yeah. Because he in his mind, when he's saying African, he's talking about people that was enslaved.
Got it.
He considered them African. People in the sub-Saharan Africa, he would call them. So they don't think they Africans. So we don't need him to think they Africans though. See, you don't need that.
He said they are not nigger.
Yeah,
the lips in the nose like a nigga. He got this big ass nose talking crazy.
I know, big nose bigger than everybody. His nose not big, his little lip. All right, man.
So what I'm saying is like, what is it that you're saying exactly? Because what was shocking to me was when you start teaching about being scientifically accurate. And black is not something that we can use scientifically. I disagree with you on that, and I'm going to continue to disagree with you, and respectively. Right? What up, Ngozi?
Hey, what's up?
You know,
peace to you, Chris. Peace.
Peace. I should have called Ngozi first. Boy, any of this shit started. But let me say No, because I can do a presentation of this on my channel. Ankh does not believe in using the word black. That's fine, but when you're talking about,
no, go ahead.
As it pertains to describing African peoples,
okay,
right? That's what you said. But you, in your slide from the Brooklyn Museum, you presented the slide, and I have it right here. This is ancient Egypt and African culture. And in this slide, it says the ancient Egyptians were an African people who first appeared in the Nile Valley 4500 BCE and created a distinctive culture. Egyptologists no longer maintain the false hypothesis that lighter-skinned outsiders created the Egyptian culture. So they're contrasting light-skinned in this slide that
it's on the screen. It's on the screen for
right. Thank you. I'm reading, so yeah, it's fine. So what are they contrasting lighter skinned outsiders to?
There's a difference between light skin and lighter skin. So people was basically saying there's a difference.
That's horrible.
No, you know that, right? Come on, yo, but you don't know if a person say that you know what I'm saying that you're lighter than me, yo. You don't. So a person could be any complexion and have a person lighter than them, yo. Y'all didn't know that? They was talking about the outside lighter skinned outsiders. They was trying to make it. So people was always saying that the Egyptians couldn't have been couldn't have been darker skin or couldn't have been brown skin. They was trying to play the game in them early years. And so they no longer make Egyptologists. Dude, do you fucking know I'm talking, yo? We can have a conversation, James. I don't mind you talking, James. Let everybody finish. Come on, yo, you can talk. So I'm saying it's the false hypothesis that lighter skinned outsiders created Egyptian culture was just false. It wasn't saying that light skinned people couldn't have been in Egypt and couldn't have been indigenous. That's not what's just. It's not saying that though.
I'm sorry. I'm going to disagree with you on this.
That's fine.
Wholeheartedly, because this clearly says this is contrasting a lighter skinned outsider, which people would always try to say that Greeks, Romans, people from the Levant, and other lighter-skinned people, and we know what they mean by that, were the ones that created Egypt. Because during what we have with most, how can I say it? Excuse me. Egyptology is so layered in racism. This article is saying no. It was Africans who created this culture. Here's why I push back against you. How did they present themselves on the wall in the Old Kingdom? They presented themselves as darker skinned Africans. And that's clearly what this is saying. This is the slide that you produced. For you to sit up here right now, Ankh, and say, oh, it's talking about lighter skin as it compares to light skin. I think that's a bit dishonest.
I didn't say light skin. I never used the word light skin. I just said lighter skinned outsiders.
Okay.
So the farther you get away from Africa, the skin changes. And the skin becomes lighter, yo. That's all.
Okay.
And that's all I'm saying. So I'm not. And for the record, you know, I keep the homework right in my hand, ladies and gentlemen. I got a book detailing the Old Kingdom. All right, and so we can look in here and see the complexions. They ranging just like anywhere else. Look,
you know what? I could look at Ngozi. I could look at James.
Look, here you go. Look at this. Look. See that? That's Old Kingdom.
Yeah, they wasn't light skin, dark skin like African Americans. We got kid leaves.
So how we want to do this? There's a woman in between the two men. Are we going to ignore her skin complexion and only focus on the skin color we like?
Well, I would need to know.
Is that what we're doing?
No,
well, I'm just showing us something. I'm just trying to make a point here, yo. What we going to do?
Can we just you on that?
Can we just live with this thing? Okay, I can live with this. I can live with that, bro.
Okay, so let me ask you this.
Man, that woman came.
Was that a statue of Jesus Christ? Who was that a statue of?
Oh, that was shoot. It tells you right here. Let's see. It says in this group, both husband and wife is shown sacred. You say the woman forms the center group. Is not saying. No.
Because I got a book right here. It's called Egyptian Fakes, and how a lot of museums have presented false and fake artifacts to try to place lighter skinned individuals or try to prove that the so-called outsiders or Egypt was influenced by lighter skinned nations, and it's called Egyptian Fakes. I have the book with every artifact in it that's in fact fake, and they contrast a lot of the artifacts to the original artifact, and they show that most of the artifacts that we are seeing in today's museums are in fact modern day forgeries.
Oh man, and that's the first book to say that.
No, I'm pretty sure there are a lot of people that
here's another one. So what I'm saying is, I'm saying like
I find it hard to believe that you had whites. No, I think what you're doing is you're producing it. What I hear you doing.
You get moderate.
Hold on, is it all right? Can I finish? It is between me and all. Cause okay, y'all can rock out. I'll leave in a minute because I just want to finish what I'm saying. No one's saying that Africans don't range in skin tone.
You
But
sure?
What Ankh produced is an article that said Egypt was not influenced by its lighter skinned neighbors or from other countries.
Started it. Say
Ankh
started it.
argues started whatever. But Ankh will argue and say that they aren't dark-skinned blacks because he'll say it's scientifically it's science. You can't describe people scientifically with color. He'll tell you it's unscientific. But you're giving a scientific presentation and it's talking about lighter skinned outsiders. So it's okay to call the outsiders lighter skinned, but we can't call the Africans dark skinned or black. I want you to listen to what you're saying. You can call Egypt Egypt, right? Which is quite anachronistic in itself because that's Greek, but no one calls it Ta Marie. No one calls it Ta Seti. Nobody calls it any of it by it's what the people called it themselves. And that's why I say we can agree. I can agree with you on that. That's no problem. But I'm pretty sure that statue was a lot darker before time has gotten to it. And if I looked at that statue today, if I looked at that person today, and he was in America, we would say black. You say all the time, peace and black African power. And I can show you why using the word is okay through anthropological sources. That is the study of culture. And culture has evolved. And we create our own destiny today. We call each other black. You say peace and black African power. So you cannot anymore continuously tell us on this panel that black is scientifically inaccurate when you gave a presentation speaking about light-skinned outsiders. That was in your presentation, and that's all I highlighted.
Okay, so let me say this. So my point is human beings can call each other light skin and dark skin. So that's not, and just because you're dark skinned doesn't mean you're a black African. That y'all keep saying. I'm gonna say this again. Human beings can say you're lighter than me. I'm darker than you. I'm dark skinned. I've never said that the Egyptians couldn't be dark skinned. Hawau said it out of his mouth. And he's the most wildest guy out there. I never said that in a scientific article you can't look at the skin color of them and say they're lighter skinned. Never said that. What I said was the designation of the socialized, racialized term of black people. That's a racialized term. We don't have to argue that. That is a racialized term. So then I would ask you, when you say black people, what do you mean, Chris? What are you saying when you say black people? Are you talking about the skin range and color? Are you talking about the culture? What are you saying when you say that?
See, and this is where it gets funny at with you because you presented an article. See how you're pushing back against blackness?
I'm pushing back.
You push back. Now, hold on. Let me finish. You push back against blackness, but you present articles that talk about light-skinned outsiders. So right there in that article, there was a contrast there. It's producing a contrast. You can't tell me that I don't know how to read and comprehend what something's telling me. Because now you're gaslighting when you do that. Now you're trying to raise the question about what blackness is. We on this panel know what blackness is as it pertains to us over here in America. I ain't talking about no Indian people. That's gaslighting. I'm talking about me, you, James on this panel, Ngozi. We know what blackness is, just like everybody else knows what whiteness is. We know what blackness is because we have our own unique brand of it over here in America.
Ours come from
so when you say that it's
our blackness come from Niger Congo culture, specifically out of Africa, not just any old Africa. Different people in Africa. We come from Niger Congo people.
Okay. All right, got you. So like I said up there and said, we know what blackness is as it pertains to us over here in America. You can't get away from that. It's simple. You're saying that it's scientifically inaccurate. Fine, say that. I don't care.
You mixing that up though.
Nah, I think you gaslighting that one.
No, I'm not. Yo, I ain't gonna gaslight you, bro. Niggas gaslight me for 15 years. I ain't know what it meant.
Hey, it's far. Hey, like Ngozi taught me. Hey, Chris, it come with the territory. Go ahead.
So I want to let you know, saying black people has nothing to do with saying light skin and dark skin, though, Chris.
No, I don't.
You didn't know that, Chris? Like, you can't be serious right now, yo.
Yes, I am serious.
Okay, well, I'm saying that's we're I'm saying that if the article say lighter skinned people, that don't mean they saying black people.
That's in contrast. No, I did not say lighter skinned people.
Scientifically, skin.
That's what the article said. You can look at the person's skin color and say they range in skin color, dark skin and light skin, and not mean black people. Black people is a racialized term, yo. Let me do it again. It is.
Yeah, biologically, skin can't even be actually black.
Right. You're not black for real. That ain't make no sense. Nobody's black biologically. Yo, you get that, right?
This article is literally sitting up here, drawing a contrast. And you brothers is gonna sit up here and try and get super uber scientific, but you're the one that but you're the one that produced the article. That's weird to me, as if Egyptology is not saturated with racism. That's
now
you sitting here. No, it's not even a slippery slope.
Yo, the Egyptologists don't even agree with the racist Egyptology of the day. Matter of fact, we had
the experts that came on your panel. I put together clips where the experts said, such as Kara Cooney, she said that Egyptology is layered in racism. She said it. So don't try that one. We listen to all your experts. We've been clipping and clipping and clipping and clipping.
All right. Okay. Yeah, we're clipping and clipping and clipping.
But don't worry, I'm going to produce the evidence.
Okay, yo. So you're saying, let me get this straight. You just switched the argument that because a person used the word light-skinned and dark-skinned, that they're meaning black people, yo?
No.
You're going to say no. So if you're going to say no.
Hold on. Let me answer. You asked me a question.
Yeah, man.
What I'm telling you is.
Without all the racism and all that.
Bro, stop. You try to teach scientific literacy.
Okay.
And you get away from the word black.
Why?
But then you produce an article that creates a contrast between lighter skinned outsiders and compares to what? Darker skinned Africans. That's what that entire article is contrasting. So that's the key word there.
No, you made that
Why
up.
would they use lighter skin?
Because they're not talking about black people, yo. This is black people right here, yo. Listen.
The header says an African culture, man.
I know.
Are you serious?
African don't mean black skin or black people or dark skin.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Right. Now, so now we at the road. Here you go. It say black people. Look, it say black people is a what, yo? Racialized classification, yo. What is racialized, yo? I think racialized is very, very important, yo. Racialization. Listen, I want everybody to get this. What is actual racialization or ethnic? Look, listen.
What's the references to that? What's the references that Wikipedia article is using? Because that could be layered in commentary.
You got Omi and Michael.
It's very subjective.
Howard, it's a racial formation in the United States, 1960 to 1980, right? And racialization in the zone of ambiguity, because it's some ambiguous shit. But watch this. So goes on to say is a social concept used to describe the intent and processes by which ethnic or racial identities are systematically constructed within a society. It says constructs for racialization are centered on erroneous generalizations about racial aspects of distinct groups, leading to denial of equal social engagement. it is a process of racial dominance that has lasting harmful or damaging outcomes for racialized groups. Now, what is
did
the
lighter
process?
skin? So
Let
did
me
lighter skin
let me finish.
races?
No,
Oh,
let me finish.
no. I get this article. Okay, I'm gonna let you finish. Go ahead.
Let me just finish, yo. Okay, I want to talk about the. Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait.
I'm gonna hit you right back. What I'm about to read now.
Right. I don't mind you. I don't mind you reading up. I think the more we read, the less we argue. Okay, so racial classifications, human based shape, physical, social qualities group. Hold on. Let me see. Racialization of religion. Hold on. Racialization of labor. Racialization of gender. And now all that come out of scientific racism, Chris. So just because you say light skin and dark skin is not a racialized term, yo. That's just a person describing the color of somebody's skin, yo. You're darker,
isn't black
you're
doing
lighter.
the same thing?
No, obviously not.
Here, let me read something to you now.
Obviously,
all right,
I'm just saying, obviously not, Chris.
Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to read something. Pull up light skin on Wikipedia. I want you to pull that up because I'm going to show you it's all part of the same bullshit.
Oh, you could
it's all the same thing.
Go ahead, Chris.
Okay, so what I'm going to read is the same thing that you produced. We're going to read it here. We're going to read it.
On Wikipedia, all right? You want to go to light skin?
On Wikipedia, that's what you pull in Wikipedia.
Hold on,
which is very subjective.
It's a dark skin article too, not a black.
Guess what? Exactly.
All right, go ahead. It's up here, Chris. Go ahead, Chris.
Thank you. All right, so we're gonna read this here, and guess what? Look what they put there for light skin. A white person. Let's see, and let's read it. Light skin.
You up here?
Light skin is a human skin color that has a low level of eumelanin pigmentation as an adaptation to environments of low ultraviolet radiation. Due to migrations of people in recent centuries, light-skinned populations today are found all over the world. Light skin is most commonly found amongst native populations of Europe, East Asia, West Asia, Central Asia, Siberia, and North Africa, as measured through skin reflectance.
Egypt is in North Africa.
Well, it also says, hold on, what did it say earlier? You see how it's in North Africa. It says migrations. They migrated there. You can't tell me
I
that
thought you were going to read something that's going to help you. Keep reading. I'm going to get to the part that's helping you.
I think I am helping me. I think this is helping me. You ain't going to tell me people of, hold on. You ain't going to tell me people of Roman stock who've been there since what? 300 AD? 300 AD? You ain't going to sit there and tell me that they are native, right? They've been there 2,000 years. No, they migrated there. They colonized it. What about the Arabization of North Africa? See, I actually read on my channel a evolutionary time chart of the migrations in Africa that happened across North Africa. I read it. I came with dates, and I came with loads and tons of information on why you see these people there today. But let me keep reading, though. All right?
Mm-hmm.
And it says, people with light skin pigmentation are often referred to as white.
White. Okay.
Although these usages can be ambiguous in some countries where they are used to refer specifically to certain ethnic groups or populations.
Mm-hmm.
Humans with light skin pigmentation have skin with low amounts of eumelanin and possess fewer melanosomes than humans with dark skin pigmentation.
Mm-hmm.
Light skin provides better absorption of qualities of ultraviolet radiation, which helps the body synthesize higher amounts of vitamin D for bodily processes such as calcium development. On the other hand, light-skinned people who live near the equator, where there is abundant sunlight are at an increased risk of foliate depletion. As a consequence of foliate depletion, they are at a higher risk of DNA damage, birth defects, and numerous types of cancers, especially skin cancer, etc., etc., etc. So what I'm showing you here is when you pull light-skinned up, you're not getting all the racist propaganda here.
And here you go.
You're not getting all that. Why?
Because
it's white. No, because it's white.
Let me read this. Here you go. Hold on. I want to read. I want to continue. Hold on, man. Damn.
Yeah, let him
Hold on. I just clicked off of the I just clicked off of the article right here on light skin. Appreciate you, Chris. That was a good read right there. But it says right here, people with light skin pigmentation are often referred to as white. Now, this is the kicker right here. We're going to click the white on. Y'all see it? So what's the white?
They show Japanese people
Come on.
Too in their last.
Okay. White.
Wild niggas, boy.
I mean, yo, he gonna get you. White. And this is the one. This is the racialized term, white. See, white is a racialized term. White white often still referred as Caucasian, right? Is a racialized classification of people generally used for those, right, of most European ancestry. That's a racialized term, yo. Racial classification, yo. Caucasian is outdated, obsolete. Racial classification. What's a racial classification? Racial classification. It's a racism.
Oh, okay, so what you're saying is it's okay to describe Africans as different colors of wheat, such as dark brown or tan or chocolate. But you can't. But it's calling them black is somewhat racist.
Because one is referring to skin color, and another is referring to a race, a racialized classification.
You know what? I can actually get with that. So what you're saying is that we should do away with the word black. Is that what you're saying altogether?
No, I'm saying now, like I think you talked about the evolution of words or something like that, or because something can mean one.
He's talking about black and white.
Yeah, so something can mean
not just black. He's talking about getting rid of or that's outdated. White as well is a racialized term.
Yeah, that's
right. Guess what?
So let me finish my point though. Let me finish my point.
Right now.
Would Negro mean to us, because that's what the real word is, Negro, didn't mean the same thing back then, yo. I'm saying once we do the fist on it and the struggle in America, you know what I'm saying, and the fight was on for our freedom of our rights, right? We threw that damn fist up. We said black power, yo. You know what I'm saying? When I come to the mic and say black African power, yo, I'm saying despite the fact of being enslaved, yo, despite the fact that you looked at my skin, no matter what the complexion was, and said I was black, no matter none of that, yo, that I'm still here and I'm embracing, I'm saying, the beautiful colors of my skin and all the range. I'm embracing that, right? I don't think it's a negative thing to me. I don't agree.
Okay, so let me ask you a question.
Let me finish. Let me finish. I'm telling you what I mean when I'm saying black African power, yo. Black African power ain't got nothing to do with what they meant it to be. Black African power got all the struggle that happened. They made us pick up our fists and say black power, yo. That's what I was saying. I was saying, yo, I'm embracing the struggle to educate my people, and I'm proud. I'm black and I'm proud. But when we go to the ancient Nile Valley and we start having these discussions over, we start cultural anthropology, right? When we start talking about the bones, when we start talking about the ranges, the phenotypes, yo, then we're in the conversation of science. Right. And when we learning this about populations, you got to learn it with the science. If you don't, you're going to say black. Yo, I'm gonna say I'm black. Whoa. That wouldn't have nothing to do with them, right? We can't place those categories on them. We want to, but we can't, bro, because they didn't live in that environment under colonialism. And if we're in a scientific conversation about the population, then we got to stick to the scientific terms. Now, if you want to ask me, okay, to get rid of all that, Ankh, get rid of all that. Did the Egyptians have dark skin? I would say, yeah. Did the Egyptians have light skin? I would say, yeah. Did the Egyptians have brown skin? I would say, yeah. And all the colors in between. That's what I would say, bro.
But you don't want to use black because of the
racialization on an ancient population. And it wouldn't make sense.
Hold on. Well, how about this?
No sense.
The way that let me say this real quick. So how about this? What you just said does not help you when it comes to the word black. Everything you said is a study of anthropological sciences and how black relates to our culture over here in America. And there's nothing wrong with us putting a hedge around our blackness and the word black, because no matter if it was a social construct, we have redefined that word and what it means to us versus what it meant for them. We created our own destiny with that word, and we will continue, or I will continue to use it to identify Black African nations of antiquity, because Egypt will always and shall be celebrated as an African center of achievement. That's a crowning jewel right there, along with Nubia and Ethiopia. Me and you understand that it was a baby on the Nile as compared to Nubia.
Bro, for real.
Who is this talking? Who's that talking?
This Nazir Lee. I interjected on that.
Hold on real quick. Don't interject when I'm talking. Hey, real quick. Hold on. Everything. Okay, well, if you're not trying to be disrespectful, don't be disrespectful. That's not romanticism, and you're using that out of context.
But you know the reason why
this shall forever be viewed as a black blah 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 blah. That sounds like romanticism to me.
And
I'm sorry, but that's fine. Hold on. That's fine. Let me ask you a question. Who was the first king of Egypt?
King Scorpion, and you actually had kings before him. If you look at the
who was the first dynastic king?
What's the tablet I'm trying to think of right there? The Palermo stone. If you look at the Palermo stone, you got about 100 kings from Lower Egypt. You got others.
Thank you. So not hold on. Listen to what I'm saying.
You don't want
when
a real
people
answer.
are talking.
Go ahead,
you gave me an answer. Thank you, but it's cool.
Go ahead. You don't want a real answer.
Thank you. Thank you. When people are talking, it's cool to sometimes just kick it for a minute and just relax. It's not romanticism, what I'm saying, because it's historic.
Listen, everybody.
Damn, bro, can I finish talking?
Everybody.
No, it's just been me and I'm talking. Okay, you got the floor. Go ahead, man.
Go
ahead. Because some people just can't shut the fuck up. Go ahead, talk. Because I don't know who the fuck you is. And you just keep on interrupting.
Yo, you gotta watch your language, yo. This ain't what we doing, yo. Nazir Leo is a
but let's moderate the conversation because he just coming on in, interjecting.
What you like, 19 or something, bro?
Oh no! Oh, don't do that.
Yeah.
No.
We had to get his back in though.
Yo, that thing that you was reading from, was that from the museum in Brooklyn?
Yeah, that's the one you went and seen it.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, you went there.
All right, so like I was sitting up there saying, that's essentially that's how we use blackness today, and there's nothing wrong with that. So that's all I want to say right there. I don't know what makes that romanticizing, because romanticizing something will be saying something like all the kings in Egypt were holy, and I definitely ain't saying that, because you got kings like Ramses getting their neck slit ear to ear. You know what I'm saying? Treacherous kings over there in Egypt. But what I'm saying, at the time during racism and white supremacy, they were saying that Africans never had the ability to build their own civilization, and that proved them wrong.
We didn't need Egypt to prove that. We had West Africa. It's like,
you know what? But West Africa was not on the world study board like that. We know we had Songhai.
Because of the white man, because the white people had Egyptomania. The reason why you would think it's a crowning jewel and all that.
No one. I said it's one of the crowning jewels.
Yeah.
All right, y'all, freeze. Freeze for a minute. Yeah, Nazir Lee, you want to say something, brother? Because I want to read this right.
Y'all was having an interesting conversation, man. I mean, from time to time, if you talking for 30 minutes straight, nonstop, bro, other people gonna interject. You can't get emotional or take it personal. You know what I mean? But anyway, I would like to ask a question to the brother Chris. How do you?
Okay, well, hold on. Don't ask the question.
Okay, well, I just
read this and then no. I want to read this, then I want you to ask the question, because this is dealing with the chat. Somebody tried to say that black is synonymous with African.
Thanks for letting me on, Unc. I gotta get ready to go to sleep. I do gotta get my black ass up and get my.
Hold on, you want me to ask you that question then? Since you leaving, you want to answer that question?
I'll fuck with you, Gullah, and stuff like that, but I ain't fucking with this nigga. So I'm out, bro. Peace.
Oh wow, you chased him, yo. You chased
him. Real.
Oh man!
You can ask me the question. I'm gonna answer like Chris would answer.
My question to him would have been this.
I'm gonna answer it. When he would answer it.
Being that I don't know if he's ever traveled to the continent or if anybody else on the panel in the audience has traveled to the continent, if you've ever dealt with Somalians, if you've ever dealt with Tigrinians, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but Eritreans, other North Africans, right? How do you view yourself as the same as these individuals, or do you view yourself as different? You know what I mean? Because the Ethiopians don't view West Africans or even African Americans as the same as them.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, facts.
So
Yeah,
I was going to ask that because
some of them consider
I hate
themselves
that
black.
we've gotten to the point that we've hijacked. We used to talk about the Hebrews, and we talk about these other groups, but we've gotten to the point, man, where we've actually hijacked the Northeast African culture, identity, the whole nine. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I agree. We there. So let me read this though. Let me read this, and then I'm gonna let the warlord God Allah speak. It say black and Africa are terms that are often related but not synonymous. They have different meanings and are used in various contexts. Black. The term black is typically used to describe people of African descent, particularly those with darker skin tones. That would eliminate us, wouldn't it? It say it is a racial and cultural identifier and can refer to people of African descent living anywhere in the world, including Americas, Europe, and the Caribbean and other regions. In some contexts, black can also refer to the broader racial group that includes people from different regions who share similar physical characteristics, such as dark skin, regardless of their specific ethnic and geographic origins. African specifically refers to people who originate from the continent of Africa. Last time I checked, that would include North Africa. It is also a geographic and sometimes cultural identifier. The term can refer to anyone from Africa, regardless of their race or ethnicity. Africa is a diverse continent with many ethnic groups, languages, and cultures. Not all Africans identify as black. Some, for example, there are North Africans who may identify as Arab or Berber, and others who may not identify as black. In summary, while black often refers to people of African descent, it is not synonymous with African. African refers to a geographical origin, while black is a racial and cultural identity that may extend beyond the African continent. I just wanted to put that in there so we can stop saying it. I said it over and over again. It is not synonymous, but yet we'll say this and won't support it with real sources. What's going on, Warlord?
Yeah, what's good, man? I just tuning in, listening, man. It's crazy.
Yep.
Now, I wanted to know where you got that from because that basically solves the problem. So it'll start out to say African ancestors from the Sahara, African and Nubian ancestors from the Sahara to Egypt. And then it begins to explain why they're saying this, right? They're saying,
museum, right?
Yeah, they begin to say, so that part that you got, what comes before that is important, and directly what comes after that. They basically are saying that, yo, you trying to say Africans as a whole did not have anything to do with Egypt, and that this civilization was brought by Europeans. I'm not even using white. That's the word that's on there. It says Europeans. And they're like, this is not true. These are indigenous Africans who migrated across the Sahara. Done. That's really it. That after that point, that's it. So
and I don't think I don't think they know what the hypothesis is either. They like the key word is the false hypothesis of what they used to think. They got to look at what the actual old dynamic race theory actually is, because that's what they're talking about on this.
Yeah, that's what they're talking about, the old, outdated.
Yeah, exactly. And they just wanted to show that. So Ankh says the same thing a million times. No one never said that the origins of Egypt is not from indigenous Africans. The issue that I think Ankh, I'm not sure, but how I began to see it 4 years ago, I said, hold on, bro. These dudes think they Egyptian. I'm cool with the Egyptians being African. They could be brown, yellow. I don't care. I know that's all I need to know. The European did not do it. Ankh is not saying that Europeans or people from the Levant founded ancient Egypt. Did people from the Levant contribute? Absolutely. We have the evidence. That we don't need to do that. But that's the major problem here. That's the problem. So why do you? The pushback is not because they're dark skinned. The pushback is because people are identifying with this culture as being you. Yes, they're Africans, but they're not you. They're not your ancestors. They're not that. That's the whole argument. If I'm just saying, yo, bro, these are indigenous Africans, what the hell does that even mean? That means that they are not European. This is what he's talking about. These are not Europeans who founded this. This should even be no argument anymore. I'm confused every time I hear. I don't understand it. So the reason that I don't know, maybe I could explain it. When I hear black, I know what they mean. You saying this because you want to claim these dope. You ain't them. Then we're going to get to the argument of later. You might have ended up, well, they went to West Africa. Diop said it, and blah, 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 blah. Now we can get to the nitty gritty to see, okay, did this happen? But we ain't getting there because we arguing about, oh, no, you just don't want to say they black. That shit is dumb. I don't understand. It's very confusing, man. The man has said this shit a million times. All of us have said it. And I asked him, saw everybody at one time. Are you saying that the founding of Egypt is about indigenous Africa? They all say yes. What are we talking about?
I think they can't handle the.
Well, and then let me push back because I don't think that the definition of an indigenous African has been defined by.
Okay, I want to do that.
That's what we.
Indigenous. We're talking about We're talking about. Yeah, James. I'm just being clear here.
You know where
this is the clear part. I want you to be clear on this, Pan-African James.
Right.
We're talking about non-Europeans. We're talking about non-motherfuckers from the Levant. I don't care if they was in Africa and they back migrate. No, we ain't talking about them. We talking about the people who are indigenous, meaning that they've been in this continent for thousands upon years and was traveling their ass on and added on to the culture by being by the water. That's what we talk. I want this clear. We saying that indigenous means non-European. I'm making this clear. Yes, it can mean something else, but in this case, we talking about those indigenous Africans are not Europeans. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah. I mean, but that's what I think I've been saying the whole time. So I mean, or even go off into it. Or we've been saying
we can come
the whole
here.
time. I mean, I don't. So now we in agreement
You
that
think they banned
indigenous Africans without any European ancestry.
You think they banned him, don't they?
No, because I understand.
Is they Bantus, is Egyptian Bantus, yo?
Indigenous African range from the Khoisan all the way to what we would say is I would even say the Western Africans and the Eastern Africans in the Southern Sahel for the most part. And you do got the Berbers that's indigenous that's in the Northern Sahel, but now they have a lot of admixture because of what happened in the
with them Eastern African, them Horners got a mix too. They got an old.
Yeah. Now hold on, but we know the date. We got the date and when that kind of comes in through Malta, right?
No, man, Malta is 4,000 years old. Malta is an isolated.
I know, okay, but see, that's the template because they know that he's Ethiopian, that he does not have that the mixture.
That's not true. Let me read this.
Watch this, Uncle. If you go pull up the article, they're gonna start to use the measurements to say what the man. Come on, I ain't doing this, Uncle.
All right, let me.
They're going to use the measurements from Malta to go and show what the modern population is up against. That's how they do it.
All right, we're gonna get on Malta. Let's deal with this. When Homo sapiens back migrating to Africa, did they mix back with other humans already in Africa? Say yes. When Homo sapiens back migrating to Africa from Eurasia, they did mix with the populations already present in the continent. This back migration, subsequent mixing, had significant genetic and cultural implications. And here are some of the key points. They give you the genetic evidence, give you the archaeological and anthropological evidence, example of mixed populations, and they got the actual sources right here. Okay, but here's the question though. So we're talking about indigenous populations. Watch this. Does mixing with those indigenous African populations stop those African populations from being indigenous? See, that's the real question we want to know. Because you're not gonna stop humans from walking and mixing, not unless you're trying to say that the people that back migrated into Africa, they had themselves surrounded with bubble wrap.
Right.
Right.
And didn't have sex with each other.
And to add on to what you were saying, you know, we always talked about that Tel Assacon shit, right? That shit that's in the Levant. Like they had a whole route called the Way of Horus from the fucking first dynasty. You can see by the women that the multiple different people that some of them women ain't from that area, bro. So this mixture or this but we not talking about Europeans. I want this clear. These ain't Europeans. These are people from the Levant. They've been doing that, but that's cool. And then go ahead. But I want to. What's that brother name? Nazi Lee said something. I wanted to add on to that. I think that was a permanent point. Go ahead, bro.
So does mixing with those indigenous African populations stop those African populations from being indigenous? Y'all would say it would. The answer is actually no. It's nuanced. No. The mixing with back migrating populations does not stop indigenous African populations from being considered indigenous. See, so that's why the Brooklyn Museum can say they're indigenous homegrown population, right? Right? And keep its indigenousness. Because indigenous status is not solely determined by genetic purity. This is what James and them is looking for. They're looking for genetic purity. That's why they throw out genetic evidence.
Nah, bro, he agrees with you, Unc. He agrees with you, though, Unc. He just agreed to everything we said.
No.
The Asiatic black man to agree.
I'm right.
Y'all gotta let me finish, yo.
Yeah. Hold on.
They determined by genetic purity, but by a combination of historical, cultural, and ancestral connections to the particular region. Look, here's some of the key points, y'all. Historical and cultural continuity. Indigenous status is often defined by a group's long-standing connection to specific geographical region. I think 30,000 years is a hell of a long-standing. Their cultural practices and their historical presence in that area. African populations, despite genetic admixture, have maintained their cultural identities, languages, traditions, which are deeply rooted in the African continent, right? It's these factors are crucial in defining their indigeneity. It says genetic diversity. Africa is the most genetically diverse continent, and this diversity includes the results of both ancient and more recent admixture. It says the presence of non-African genetic material in some African populations does not negate their indigenous status. That's why the Egyptians can be indigenous to Africa. Instead, it highlights the dynamic and complex history of human populations on the continent. Indigeneity and admixture.
Yeah, you brought it home with that.
Admixture is common occurrence in the history of all human populations, and it does not invalidate a group's claim to being indigenous to their land. Indigenous populations around the world, including Africa, have experienced gene flow from neighboring groups while maintaining their distinct identities and connections to their ancestral lands. Recognition of indigenous peoples. I don't got to keep going. Let me read the summary. In summary, African populations remain indigenous to their regions regardless of genetic admixture with back migration populations. Their cultural, historical, and ancestral ties to that land are the primary determinants of their indigeneity. Now watch this. The Native Americans, ladies and gentlemen, if you was to take the average Native American and check their gene pool, they would have a lot of admixture in it. But that does not stop them from being indigenous Native Americans. There you go.
Exactly.
Rest my case.
Exactly.
Y'all can understand that. Y'all can understand the thing.
Just like some of them back migrated markers like U6. U6 have actually branches that mutated in Africa, even though it came from some Eurasian populations. Even Beja, the Beja people got like 10%, you know what I'm saying, U6, even the cops.
So hold on though.
Hold on. You had Asiatic black man wanted to get on here. The Lord.
No, yeah, let him
on time. We had to think. Go
ahead.
Yeah, so Nazi Lee.
Nazi Lee was saying something, and I think it's important, like in the social context. When you start looking at those North African populations and how they, if you want to call us sub-Saharan Africans, they always made this distinction in multiple different time periods. We could look at let's say Josiah Ford when he goes to Ethiopia and he brings his people there. That was crazy, bro. They tried to work the people on the land, don't pay them, beat them up, break their leg. They're like, yo, send me back to America. I thought that what the hell? Like the Europeans can come out, they don't got curfew. Why we got curfew? Wait a minute, I thought we was the black family. I mean, so it's interesting through the time frame. But my question for this is Ankh and James. James, are you looking for like a pure, like this purity thing that Ankh just said? That's what you was doing? That has been your argument all this time?
No, well, what I'm trying to get you to understand, or anybody to understand, that we are in 2024 where we have exact measurements of DNA that can be done at this particular time. So we have exact measurements of DNA, and they use this exact measurements throughout time to measure this back migration. That is what I'm telling you. That's what they do.
Yeah, well,
so even so what I'm saying, even if you look,
ask the question, then explain.
Yeah, okay. What I'm saying is, if you look into the Aborigines, you're going to see
the Lord Aborigines.
You're going to see that they're going to label them as Afro Levantine. So if we go to Afro Puerto Ricans. If we
so
go
you
to
can't answer the question. So you can't answer the question.
Hold on, I'm
Bro,
asking.
that be Maroon, and I know
Afro-Cuban. If you go to Afro-Brazilian, Afro-Latina, what does that mean, Robert? What are they talking about?
No, because you didn't answer the question. We don't know what nothing means. You didn't answer the question. You skated around it.
I mean, it was just simple, bro. Like Afro, that we know what they talking about. They talking about the people that came from West Africa over there. They have a history, a cultural continue. This goes back to what I just read. If you have this specific culture and these people are carrying that out, and they've been separated from such, and they DNA that now that we know that now, without the DNA, we knew that. So I'm trying to figure out, is this a purity argument you're looking for, or is it, or was Ankh making that up?
Yeah, answer the question.
I don't know if that's what he proclaimed that I was doing.
I'm asking you. So you saying what makes a person African, yo? That they don't got what, yo? Say it.
What I'm trying.
They don't got no mixing from outside. Am I correct?
This is no, because I'm an African American, and
no, and you ain't no indigenous African.
And this is what I keep trying to talk about.
Damn,
precise.
There's no way, yo. We can never have a conversation, yo.
Because
I don't even know what you mean about precise measurement.
I'm talking about I can give a precise measurement of my DNA based on what the test that I took. Right? I understand that it fluctuates.
How you gonna get a measure? You had a lab?
No, I took a DNA test.
DNA is not the only way you can define an African, though.
I'm confused, man.
Hold on.
You're confusing us, James.
If you take a DNA test, it will tell you if you have majority of African DNA or if you have majority of non-African DNA. That is how it works. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. So even if we use these people back in this day, the people that's called the Aborigines or whatever you want to call them, they're like 95% African. Even though they do have the admixture that they're talking about, if you're 95% African, what are you? Just like we're called African Americans in America today because of what? Our DNA is majority of African, even though we do have the admixture at fluctuating between what 5 and 30%.
We come from particular Africans, though, James. We come from particular.
Hey, James, what's your point on that, though? We can agree that they Africans.
My point is that you do this by percentage, and I was trying to say that if you go if you go on the opposite scale of the 90% or the 7%, you're going to be considered a non-African. That is how it works. So if you look at the people that are North,
so you saying Egyptians are non-Africans?
Based on this particular measurement that we can do today, they measure their DNA at 80% European.
Okay.
That is what their DNA genetic makeup is.
Yeah, so but that's a
hold on, a person that is 80%.
They say Eurasian, not European, bro.
I know you're hearing.
Bro, I can show y'all right now. It's gonna say they're 80% European.
Who?
European? They ain't gonna say no European.
What?
But hold on, but why even? But James, but why even bring that up if your argument is that the Egyptians are black?
The fact that we can use precise measurement to tell who is African and who is a non-African.
I'm confused though, brother. Listen, so slow down for 1 second. Slow down for
not
1
in Diaz's
second.
age no more.
Slow down for 1 second, brother. If your argument is that the ancient Egyptian founders are black, why would you bring that up if the DNA says that they're Eurasians? Why would you even say that?
Because it doesn't say that they're Eurasian at the time.
All right, man. I'm confused, man. I thought we got somewhere.
When you go do the Armana studies, it says that they're 90% African, and it mentions their Eurasian DNA at 6%.
Okay, so what's your point, though?
They're mixed. They're telling you that they're admixed. But if you're 90% African, what are you? And you're 6% Eurasian, what are you?
Brother, you are. We listen. You just
you
just saying.
I can tell you what we are.
Yo,
I can't tell you what we ain't, but I can tell you what you are. We the hell up out of here, yo. James, you have totally confused the panel once again.
We can do
totally.
That.
We don't even know what you're talking about, bro.
I'm talking about the updated science that you guys adhere to. We can use measurement now to tell
what. So the Egyptians are non-African, huh?
That's based on what I can send you the paper.
So then why they keep saying, because we talking about the ancient Egyptians, yo.
Well, the ancient Egyptian at that time, they don't have the same genetics as the modern Egyptians.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Peace.
I feel like I'm me now, you know, like
Peace, man.
I'm in my space. I'm in my zone.
Man, I'm glad everybody came through. It was a hell of a day, yo. Appreciate you stopping by there. Warlord.
Really agree.
Each one teach one. Gullah.
Yeah, saying things without a conscience in my head.
Yeah, you know we going live Sunday, man. Super Killers going live tomorrow, man. Talking about y'all dogs.
And I don't want that jacket if I got a ride at Coattail, man. You can have it. I think they want me back on my gritty one day. See me, miss me, can't fuck with girls from back home, cause it's HIV in the city. Niggas don't talk like confetti, no matter how much you lie to me. I know your ass ain't ready. Niggas acting like women. Niggas just wanna be messy, spend your allowance money. Hoping for some validation. Family don't understand you, cause you just too complicated. Your mother way too crazy. And when y'all talk, there's no patience, and you don't open up. And so they make accusations, your pops died early. And man, you still trying to shake it, and yeah, I made mistakes. So my little brothers will make up, my granny do her best. So I try to show appreciation, and when she had cancer, it cut me deep, so deep, I would lie awake. Toss and turn, no sleep, ain't have an appetite. So half the time I wouldn't eat, then she poured through. I exhaled, they hit my knees, man, I couldn't breathe. Whole month thought I couldn't breathe. If I ever lost her, it ain't no telling where I'd be. Becoming a perfect human, better let it as soon a couple more sins to commit before I really commit. It's either small or too big, man, what do I really fit? Size me up, do it twice so we can really be sure. I apologize in advance, I just needed something to vent on. Backpackers that been on, putting my fucking foot on the gas. I matched that bitch until I crash. Throw me a fucking doubter, I make him to a believer. 100 miles an hour, eyes closed, trying to see my future. Man, I really do this shit. I don't do this shit for kicks, but if we talking about the souls, man, they all sold them. Keeping greatness in the box, man, I'm claustrophobic. Don't mind me putting it in a pretzel like she doing aerobics. I told him, I be that nigga that you gotta get a verse from. They have fun and have fast. I wanna put away funds. You and your mom's class, every chance y'all get is you accept your step brothers on some bro to bro shit. Only to find out they apply to you quick. Man, I'm just saying, I'm just doing me. I'm just trying to make it. You niggas don't inspire me. I should be your fucking inspiration. Man, this shit crazy. And I can only give you me. Give you only JC. Only give you me. Give you only JC. Real. Memories of regret, foolishness by my lip. Touching all of my bridges, embedded all in my memory. Something I won't forget, conflicted with all the anger. Itching approval point, everything seeming vivid. Elephant in a room, tell me if you can tame it. Mingling with the women and slide me all them digits. Knowing that shit is wrong, boy, am I stepping all in it. My mind and my heart is racing. They having a competition, no intermittent hydration. And smoking mirrors, magicians, it's light it up and get lit. It's feeling like I won't finish. The blood is thicker than water, how they be mixing this was overboard. I lost my mind, I'm going crazy, nigga. Your blood is thicker than water, how they be mixing, nigga. I lost my mind, I'm going crazy, nigga.
Man, y'all was listening to the Community Skeptics, man, the after show, man. The Clash, Brother Ankh versus MVP Harris. Man, y'all know we got a show on the Green Sahara Sunday. Me and Ngozi Gullah. We're gonna be in the building, man, kicking it like that good old time, that good old fashioned kick. You know what I'm saying? All sorts up with the nuances on the table. We also got pseudo killer shows. We will be going live tomorrow, talking about some Charles Darwin, and we will also have some open panel shows, man. We're gonna keep the content kicking, man. We had live audiences in the building, man. 150,000 people was in the room, man. We was doing our thing. We're gonna keep pushing it, man. Y'all enjoying the content. Make sure y'all like and subscribe, man. Make sure y'all hit that daggone Cash App button, man. Show some love, man, on the way out the door, man. Don't be rude. Show some love, man. Everybody keep supporting, man. And y'all know what it is, man. Y'all already know what it is, man. And with that, I'm out. Pseudo Killer Official, Community Skeptics. I'm your host, God Killer.